get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, 201. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Ivan Herrera has been activated from the injured list. As we know, Luke and Baker was the move. Send him down to Memphis. Question is, how much harder do you guys think that Oli Marmol's job becomes with Ivan Herrera returning from injury?
Yeah, it's easier. Another bat in the lineup.
I actually think
catcher.
so, too.
Yeah. I mean, you can never have enough catchers, Anthony.
Never
I don't know if you know ball.
I don't think he's a catcher anymore. I think he's a DH.
You think the experiment's over at 22 years old?
I think that he's a DH.
I did not.
For right now.
I did not see this coming today from you.
You're going to keep these two catchers, Paez and Posto? Fine. Ivan Herrera's your DH.
And then
you know what?
Where is Alec Burleson and Nolan Gorman playing?
And Contreras, for that
Contreras
matter.
playing first base.
Yeah, but he's going to have days off at first base.
Yeah, well, is he? He's going to play every game for the rest of the year.
Then have him just be a first baseman and have the full day off.
Who?
Contreras.
You need his bat in lineup.
So,
you got a bat now.
So when do Alec Burleson and Brendan Donovan play?
Brendan Donovan's going to play every day.
Not Brendan Donovan, excuse me. Nolan Gorman.
Nolan Gorman may never play again. I don't know what to tell you.
Anthony, what have you
came in on fire today.
Ivan Herrera is a DH.
Let him DH?
Yes, let him DH.
Where is Alec Burleson and Nolan Gorman? When do they play?
Not my problem.
Never?
Not my problem.
Okay, that's a damn St. Louis Star you're talking about here.
Gorman's been terrible.
Hey, we're talking about Burleson. He's a damn St. Louis Star.
Wow, you can carry angry.
That's what Marshy said.
Fine.
I was channeling my inner
You know
Marshy.
what? Then he can play. He can play left field. He can play left. Nuke can play right.
What? What are you going to do? So Jordan Walker's not playing now?
Well, is he playing right now?
You don't care?
What?
Thank you, Jamie.
Blacked out.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, Ivan Herrera's your DH. You know what the Cardinals rank? Their DHs ranked this year?
I don't know.
Bottom 5 in every offensive category. It's been terrible. The DH spot has been terrible.
Just saying
I know it.
Because, don't
you point that finger at me on a Friday.
Did he Stalter that?
I don't know. We better fact check him a little bit here. He's
terrible.
all fired up today.
DH's been terrible. Let Ivan Herrera be the DH.
He's 22 years old.
I think we overcomplicate
He's going to have 3 catchers on the roster?
He's not a catcher.
Anthony.
4 catchers?
Listen to me. Dial in here, okay? You're fired up on a Friday. Mm-hmm. I get it. I don't blame you. It's beautiful outside, and we're in here. Right?
Yeah.
It's great
for
everybody else. But you've come in here, and you just declared Herrera the DH. Yeah. That's it. He's the DH. Okay, fine. He's 22 years old, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the future for him? He can't just be a DH for his whole life.
Why can't he?
What?
He doesn't care.
Why can't he?
Well, because some would say that's ruining a prospect.
What is his best attribute? What can he do beyond a shadow of a doubt?
Really good. He catches good.
What's a DH for?
He doesn't throw very well, but he catches good.
Thank you.
He could be a first baseman.
Maybe when you want to move on from Contreras, he could be a first baseman.
But there has to be a path for this guy. You can't just play, here, by the way, you're going to grab a bat and you're never going to touch the field.
As of right now, why would you want to put him behind the dish?
I don't want to put him behind the dish.
Get him all banged up again?
But I feel like it's a waste of a prospect to just DH him.
You have a full-time DH now. You have a full-time DH in the National League. Been that way for a while. He's one of your best hitters right now.
You don't have to patronize me. We've been that way for a while.
Okay, well, Jamie,
that was uncalled for. I know how long the DH has been in the National League. Okay?
Fine.
What a jerk. He tried to slide that in, too. Let's be sliding anything in.
I'll slide it in if I want to.
No,
Jamie.
you won't, Anthony.
Okay?
Because I'll take offense to it.
Ivan Herrera is a DH. He is your DH. Leave him there. You got 2 guys that can catch. You want to put Ivan Herrera behind the dish? Let runners just constantly go,
or you want
him to hit?
I never said I want him behind the dish.
I rest my case.
Deflecting.
Are you?
I
go back to my original question.
Yeah.
We can scratch the idea that Jordan Walker's not playing. We know that he's playing every day, so take that off of the table. It's not an option. It's a non-starter, Anthony. You just gonna let 2 lefties sit on the bench the entire game?
Are they hitting better than Ivan Herrera?
No.
Then what's the problem?
You'll never find out if they don't bat.
Then what's the problem?
This is interesting.
Maybe at some point we got to stop making problems.
Who's making problems?
And then
Anthony?
blaming others while we made the problems. You know?
I don't know that.
It's jacked up.
I don't know where you're going with all this.
Let him be the DH.
When did this pop into your head? Like, is this last night you poured a Makers, you're staring out at your little pond, and you're just like, you know what, Herrera's a DH.
First of all, my pond is not that little. Second of all,
Can you swim in it?
Lincoln.
And I wasn't attacking your pond, by the way. I think a pond is a great feature for a home. The hell's your problem?
Actually, a pain in the ass. I didn't put it in. Anyways.
But you're maintaining it.
I am. I
You
certainly
could just
am.
fill it in with concrete.
Yeah, it's a great feature.
Do you have fish in there?
Yeah, there's one.
One.
Yeah.
Why don't you get him a friend?
Well, the blue heron came down and jacked them all up one day.
Is that what that happened?
Yes.
Is that how it died?
Yes. Anytime we put koi in there, the damn heron comes down.
Is that why you killed it?
I didn't kill
Wow,
it.
is
But
that
I
how
wasn't
broken
upset.
What happened to it?
But I wasn't.
What happened to it?
I wasn't upset when he smashed his face into that concrete. Whatever.
You killed him.
I did not kill him. I have
horrible.
witnesses. I have
Gotta show
witnesses.
Would you
wasn't-
paint a koi on the sidewalk?
Nope.
Probably.
He did.
Kiddos.
That poor guy
You
can
wanna-
dive bomb
you wanna
him
paint
down.
something?
Let's just say I didn't shed a tear when he went face first into the
You
concrete.
got to get another koi and put it in there. Like,
I've tried.
what's the fish's name?
I don't.
Come on,
didn't
you
name
have,
it?
you have 3 kids.
Honestly,
Somebody has named that fish.
Honestly, I kind of want to call him Weapon X because I don't know how he survived.
I can't believe he doesn't have a name.
No, I don't. I can't get. I can't.
If you ever invite me over to your house,
You're gonna name it.
I'm going to name it.
That's fine. You can. I don't want the kids to get too attached.
don't worry.
He's probably gonna get pecked at some point.
The kid?
No, the fish.
Oh. All right.
Anyways,
Why would he not get too attached to his kids?
I think he's saying pecked.
Oh.
I don't know what I
He
said.
said the kid.
Oh, the kid.
He said I don't want to get too attached. You said the kid.
Anyways. No, I'm very attached to my kids.
He's running a damn 5K.
I was a second
one
kid.
Yes, I am. You know I love her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gonna be in shambles on Monday morning.
Yes, I will. I don't think Oli Marmol's job becomes harder. I really don't.
I think it kind of does. So to Carey's point, just for a second here about Burleson and Gorman. Never mind how bad their bats have been. Oli Marmol's job, quite honestly, right now during this version of the Cardinals, he has to develop some guys.
Mm-hmm.
He can't sacrifice the development of 2 or 3 other players just because you got Herrera with the good bat. I see what you're saying. I understand. That's his best feature is the way he creates offense. But then what about Burley? What about Gorman? I know, who cares? How are they playing? I understand that, but they are a commodity to you, whether they are for your
Anthony
team
wants to trade him.
or if they're trade
I
bait.
don't.
Even if they're trade bait.
Leave him on the bench.
But if they don't play, they've got no value at all, and they're not developing.
Well, they do have a value if you say, hey, you're going to be our bench bat now. First off the bench.
I don't know,
And
man.
Jordan Walker's time, unfortunately, he has to start hitting
Oh, that's a
because Burleson is hitting. So
Yeah.
there's that. I mean, I get it. I do. But
I'm just trying to figure out how we get more than one player developed.
that might be tough.
Yeah. So that's why I think all this job's difficult.
Well, especially when one of your top prospects who's gotten a lot of runway this season thus far is hitting under 200 looks completely lost.
It's not good.
So, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but Ivan Herrera coming back, I actually think it settles one spot. It settles the DH spot.
Yeah, and it settles a catcher spot because you're not playing him there.
Exactly. Right.
I'm
You're right.
just saying.
You're right. So your defense doesn't take a step back.
Yeah.
And your DH spot improves. So I understand what you're saying. There's a bit of a roster shuffle here, a lineup shuffle. I totally get it. But Ivan Herrera, young, pure hitter, not great defensively. He's your DH moving forward.
Yeah. No, he's instant offense. If he picks up where he left off, I mean, he was by far the most productive Cardinal.
100%. So, you guys want to see where he's at in the lineup?
Sure.
Yeah,
All right,
why
we
not?
got the lineup game. But Marsh, do you have an announcement? Is it
I
up?
do. The poll is up. Marshy's poll is up on Twitter. If you want to go and vote, you can head to my Twitter handle. It is _Marshy Marsh _. And the question is, should the fast lane get rid of the lineup game? Yes or no? So far, we have 13 votes. and we will take this up until 5:40. No is leading 92% to 8%.
Okay. So if you were the person or persons who have texted in the last couple of days saying that you hate the lineup game and you want us to remove it, this is your time. You can
Or
vote.
if you love it.
Or if you love it, you want to keep it. Great. Go to Marshy's poll. Jump on that thing.
Yeah.
Cast your vote.
Check out his handle.
Check out his handle. Could this be the last lineup game we ever play in the Fast Lane? Lineup game next.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and for all you contractors out there, if you need some recycling, if you have recycling needs, and you need to know about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for contractors is often a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you'd have to do during cleanup. If you're a plumber, you do heating and cooling, you're an excavator, or any type of contractor, Scrap Mart Metals Recycling can make your job easier. If you own that heavy equipment, it breaks down time and time again. You have to get rid of it. At some point, you get tired of repairing it. Well, Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. You don't have to be a contractor, though. If you have some things in your home that you need recycled, you can also visit Scrap Mart Metals. Copper, wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron. It is recycling made easy. All you need to do is visit scrapmartmetals.com for you business owners. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to make your job easier. Visit him today at scrapmartmetals.com. Time to play lineup game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Could be the last lineup game we ever play.
Anthony, you're kind of morbid today.
No, I'm just stating facts.
It's a Friday. And
Marsh has got his pole out
killing
there.
fish. And,
I'm not the one killing the
well,
bird.
I mean, if you're not
Killed the
protecting the
bird.
fish,
I didn't kill the bird either.
if you're not protecting the fish from the bird,
No, he did protect him. You saw
what
what he
did he ever
did.
do? He smashed that bird right into the ground.
I didn't.
Hey, right here.
Bird was sick. Hit his head. Mitchell Parker tonight will be on the bump for the Washington Nationals.
He's an LHP.
He is a lefty.
Oh, so Gorman and Brunson probably not in the lineup at all. Easy peasy.
Problem solved.
Easy peasy.
You're welcome. All right.
This is exactly what he wanted.
I know one lefty's, though, in the lineup. Yep.
I know two.
At least two.
At least two. Well, probably three, actually.
Probably.
Yeah.
Show us Lars Newbar.
International superstar.
Watch out, don't run into any walls or anything.
Now, here's a question. Do we still go Masyn Winn here? Because I think he is here.
I think he's.
I'm going to be a little
He's been hitting the ball pretty well. Why would you change it?
Yeah.
All right. Show us Masyn Winn.
Second. Bring me that on.
Now,
Nope.
what the hell you say no for?
It's Brendan Donovan.
Why would he say no before I even got
He
my
had no
words
idea
out?
what you're about to
He
say.
had no damn clue.
What were we going to say?
He's just trying to
Do
dominate
you think
faces
this is
today.
Brendan Donovan right here?
Yes.
Well, why'd you say no?
Why were we even questioning it?
Why'd you say no?
Because I thought he was going to say, well, do you think it could be Ivan Herrera
Actually, I
here?
do think it might be Ivan Herrera right here.
Thank you for your honesty,
I actually think
CD.
it's going to be Ivan Herrera, too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think it's Donovan. So what do you guys think?
No.
No. Majority wins.
Go ahead, Jamie.
What do you think?
I don't want him to be right so bad, though.
I think it is, and I think
You think it's who?
I think it's Ivan Herrera, and I think you either move Donovan. Like I think either Donovan is at 6, or Nolan Arenado is at 6.
Oh, no. Ollie's too scared to move him out of the 4-hole.
Then
There's
you
no
put
chance.
Donovan at 6.
I
Donovan is
actually
giving you
think
something.
Herrera, now that I've had a chance to think about it, I think Herrera might be a little lower just because it's his first game back.
The hell no.
So I think it could be
He had a
Brendan
home
Donovan.
run in Memphis. You let him
Memphis.
play. Nah, he's been hitting home runs here. Had 2 or 3 of them in one game, didn't he? Or am I crazy?
I don't know what to do.
Nah, it's on you, Jamie. You
No,
got this.
what?
I believe in you. All right. We said we
don't care.
agree. Let's go.
I don't care. I like risk. I like this.
Yeah. Let's
Show
go.
me Brendan Herrera. Show me Brendan Donovan.
Look at that guy.
Told you,
Handsome.
Anthony.
You did, Jamie. You absolutely did. Good call. You wild child, you. No,
ahead.
okay. Show us. Nolan Arenado.
A lot of people think you get in your mid-30s and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
Show us.
Oh, whoa.
Willson Contreras.
Wow.
You don't know how to play first base.
That was a little
it's not that
aggressive,
hard.
though.
Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
Okay.
I think
now
Herrera's here.
I think it's Herrera.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
Oh, Yvonne? That's a French-ass name, Yvonne. Yeah, my little croissant. Little cheese on my croissant.
That's amazing.
Been a while since we heard that one.
No kidding.
What do you got here?
Has here, no?
Are we assuming that Herrera
what
is
do
the
we need?
DH? Is he not catching?
He's got to be the DH.
There's no way he's catching. According to Anthony, he'll never catch again.
Correct.
So it's Herrera. I mean, it's Paez, Walker, Scott that are left.
I think that's what we have.
Paez,
Exact.
Walker.
I think that's the exact order, too.
Scott. Okay. Yeah. Jamie?
Show us Pedro Paez.
What a shame.
Is it Pozo?
Herrera's catching.
No, he's not.
If
There's no
he
way.
is, you know what, Carey?
There's no way.
For the sake of the first segment today, I hope he's catching so bad.
He's not.
It's probably it's not.
I guarantee you he's not.
Probably Alec Burleson.
Look at you, so pissed.
Then I think it's Walker.
All right.
Right now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Show us. Show us Jordan Walker.
Die for every ball. It's boring otherwise, plus it looks harder. The most important play in right field is what I like to call the janitor throw. Guaranteed out every
Yes,
time. I call it the
Play the whole
janitor
thing.
throw
Play it
because it
all.
cleans up that are trying to take an extra base on you.
Wow, Marsh
Good
is
job,
like,
Marshy.
hey,
That one's for Carey and Doug's Tariff, who has
Yes.
been asking
Oh,
for
there
the
you go.
Play the whole
longer
damn
Nice.
thing.
Could be the last lineup game, so I needed to do that for
that's
Doug's
true.
Tariff.
Good call.
Now is it Paez?
Yes.
I got
Show us Pedro Paez.
Smithies, throw this at him.
You're out.
Maybe.
All right.
Show us. Victor Scott.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Run it, Marsh.
All right, leading off in left field, Lars Nootbaar. Batting second, the shortstop, Masyn Winn. Batting third, your second baseman, Brendan Donovan. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Batting fifth, first baseman, Willson Contreras. Back in the lineup, batting sixth, the DH, Ivan Herrera. Batting seventh in right field is Jordan Walker. Batting eighth and catching, Pedro Pajes. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott, the second.
They fair! They fair! They fair!
Go fair! Go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw!
Home run!
Gentlemen, we have a new leader in the clubhouse, and that is Carey Davis, who has 4 points thanks to Marrero.
Oh, that's
Jose
right.
Barrero.
He's a what? 4-pointer?
No, he's a 3-pointer.
Oh,
got
he's got 4
one.
total. Got it.
4 total.
Yep, got it.
Look at Anthony trying to find a way to get 4 points, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I'd just clarify. My bad.
So are we? Since we did the light the lamp game where you get a hat trick if you get 3 home runs, are we adding to that as well?
Sure.
Absolutely, yeah. If you get 3 home runs, you get 100%.
9 points, isn't it? Is that what we said? Oh, no. We get to 10? Why don't we
double it?
Oh, you
What is
double?
it?
Yeah. Remember, we doubled it.
Yeah.
So,
You get 3 home runs, you get
18 points?
yeah.
It is hard.
No,
Is that
no,
how
no.
that works? Well, yeah. If
Tell me.
3 home runs at 3 points apiece would be 9. If you double it, it's 18.
Wow.
yeah. So if Nathan Walker would have got a hat trick
Well,
that
what are
night.
the odds?
What are the odds?
You'd have
It's
got
like
you
the
could have got
goalie goal.
18
Yes,
points.
right.
I'm all for that.
What if you get 2 home runs?
Then you only get
There's
6
no
points.
bonus
You get-
there.
yeah.
Just the triple.
Or if you get 3,
I'm in.
You either get the turkey or you don't.
Yeah.
Got it.
Herrera's a 3-pointer or a 2-pointer?
It's got to be a 2-pointer. He's a power hitter, don't you think? He'd be a 2-pointer, Herrera?
Give me
Yeah.
Ivan Herrera.
Already wrote it down. I figured you'd go that direction.
Wow.
Give me Brendan Donovan.
Jamie.
It's me? Okay. Let's see here. Oh. Give me Willson Contreras.
Give me Masyn Winn. Please and thank you.
All right.
So tonight, Cardinals, Nationals. Cardinals will put their 5-game winning streak on the line as they open up a new series this weekend in D.C. against the Nationals. Mitchell Parker will start for Washington. Eric Fetty, the right-hander, will start for the Cardinals in Game 1.
Would you guys like an update on Marshy's poll?
Yes.
Always.
The question is, should the fast lane get rid of the lineup game? We have 97 votes so far. We still have about 3 hours and 20-ish minutes left. 89% say no to 11% saying yes. And we have some comments from some people, and none of them say anything about getting rid of the lineup game.
Nice.
Well, how do we want to approach this, guys? From the 636, I do not have Twitter, but I would like to vote to keep the lineup game. I don't know how we deal with that.
Mark it down.
Just write it. If
Yep.
it becomes the deciding
It's a
vote,
write-in.
It could be a write-in.
It's a write-in.
Yep.
it's right in. We're going to see some IDs.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Is speed and skill outplaying physicality in these NHL playoffs? That's next on 101 ESPN.
It's that time of year where putting your house on the market is an idea that a lot of people have. Beautiful sunshine, lots of people out looking for a new house. Well, if you're going to do so, you have to call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria's been in the business for over 20 years, and she understands exactly what the landscape is for real estate here in the St. Louis area. Gloria also has solutions for every type of home seller. Like for sellers who want a fast sale, no hassles, Gloria's multiple cash offer program is a great option to consider. There's no showings, no costly repairs, and you pick the closing date. You always get the highest cash offer to choose from in minutes. And Gloria Lou also has a database with thousands of buyers in there. That's how she drives traffic to your listing. That's how you get these cash offers, and that's how you get exactly what you want for the price of your home. So please, again, call Gloria Lou. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Ivan Herrera has been activated from the 10-day injured list. Lucan Baker has been optioned to Memphis AAA. Ivan Herrera in the lineup tonight as the Cardinals take on the Washington Nationals. Eric Fetty on the mound for the Redbirds going up against Mitchell Parker. First pitch tonight is at 5:45. The NHL playoffs continue. Is speed and skill outplaying physicality in the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs? We'll discuss that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Who forces him off the puck. Hyman is hit the crossbar. McDavid a goal post here in the OT. McDavid picks one into the net. Draisaitl scores! Game 2 to Edmonton. Final 5-4.
All right, that sound courtesy of Sportsnet as the Edmonton Oilers have taken a 2-0 lead in their series against the Vegas Golden Knights. We've also seen the Toronto Maple Leafs take a 2-0 series lead over the Florida Panthers, 2 games that Jamie correctly predicted, despite the fact that he's been going for the Panthers. He said, look, the Maple Leafs are going to be...
Tonight, I like the Panthers.
Tonight you do. Yeah, gotcha. They won't be your bet the board play.
No, they certainly won't.
At least money line wise.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. They're massive favorites. That's why.
Minus 240 or something.
That's pretty big. All right. Jamie?
Yeah.
When you look at the Maple Leafs, I'm just going to keep moving here. When you look at the Maple Leafs and you look at the Oilers, these aren't really physical teams. These are teams that are based on speed, skill. Not that they don't have any physicality, but they mostly win games based on their speed and their skill. Has speed and skill has that outplayed physicality in the NHL playoffs?
Not yet. And hear me out, because you look at these teams, Oilers and the Maple Leafs in particular. And the thing is, you think of right away Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, speed and skill. But then when you dive into their lineup and you have players like Connor Brown, Trent Frederick, Evander Kane, Corey Perry, like the lineup still has a lot of physicality to it. And I think that the key has always been to surround your speed and skill with physicality. Look at Toronto Maple Leafs, too. You look at their roster. Matthew Nyes is a big physical player. Max Domi is physical. Pacioretty's become a physical player. Lawton, they went and got him for his physicality. Brandon Carlo on defense and Tanev on defense. So, yes, you have the stars up there, the Matthews, the Marner, the Nylander, and the Draisaitl, McDavid, Evan Bouchard, all those guys. But you're properly surrounding them with physicality. So here's where I'm headed. Let's see what the rest of the series looks like. Let's see what games 5, 6, and 7 look like for the skilled teams. Mm-hmm. Because one thing we learned over the last 5 years probably is the teams that win have a physical team. They just do. They're big, they're physical, they outlast you. You look at the Stanley Cup champions last with Florida Panthers. They had an amazing blend of physicality and skill. You go back to the Golden Knights, same thing. The Capitals, the Blues, like the Stanley Cup champions here recently have a nice blend of the skill, but also games 5, 6, and 7 can bring the physicality. Mm-hmm. So I don't think speed and skill has taken over. It's been a long time since a team. No, I didn't say that. I said it's been a long time.
I thought the same thing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is this guy done?
In your defense, it was different.
It was way different.
It was way different.
Way different.
But Carey and I both jumped to the same conclusion that
it's been a while. Yeah, he said it's been a long time.
Now, let me help you out. It's been a while.
It's been a while
since we've seen a Stanley Cup champion. It's speed and skill. I think the last one you go back to, you could say Tampa Bay, but even Tampa Bay flooded their lineup with some physicality when they finally won it. The Pittsburgh Penguins, when they won way back when, and everybody wanted the speed and skill model. How'd that work out for everybody? Not good. Mm-mm. But the Penguins used it because they had Crosby and Malkin. Yeah. So maybe McDavid and Draisaitl are the new ones.
This kind of reminds me, go ahead, Carey.
Well, I was going to ask, is some of the physicality or lack thereof it, based off of how the officials are calling the games, does that play into it? Like, you don't want to be too physical and end up in the penalty box and give the opposing team that might be, more skilled, even more of a chance. Like, you don't want to give the Oilers more power plays than necessary. So does that kind of dictate how physical a team can be? Does that play into that at all?
I don't think so. It dictates how stupid you are. Like, if you're going to take dumb penalties, then, you'll suffer the consequences. But being physical, being aggressive doesn't necessarily translate to sitting in the penalty box.
Right.
You have guys that are going to ride the line a little bit, and you have to make sure that you reel those guys in. As a coaching staff, those are the guys that you say, okay, all right, you're getting really close to the end. Let's back it down just a bit. Keep the game between the whistles here. Like, not put the opponent on the power play. But no, I don't think ultimately that plays a huge role in it. Maybe some games, if the officials are calling it really tight and there's a couple of late hits or hits that you think are good and they call it a late hit. But overall, I just think that teams are going to continue to play that physical brand.
So Ryan Crawford from the Snake Pit says, what about Chicago? They weren't big. I think this goes to your point about, and they did have some big components.
Dustin Byfuglien.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Vandermeer on that.
Hossa was big, too.
Hossa's a big dude. They had some guys.
But I think the bigger
Seabrook.
The bigger point that you just made is about the Penguins. Sometimes we get down this narrow corridor of saying, hey, you can only win this way because we just saw it done this way, right? Like, whoever just won in any sport, that's the way you need to do it. We always overlook the bigger picture in that, what did they have on the roster? Some Cardinals fans have screamed for the return of the Whitey Herzog Cardinals. Whitey Herzog used what he had, and what he had was speed. He didn't have power. He didn't have guys that were going to, obviously drive the ball to the park. There wasn't a lot of slug. They ran. And teams that have, the Cardinals teams that have tried to replicate that model without the speed, they suffer a very, very quick death, right? You need to have a roster that you understand what it's capable of and play to the strengths. I'm talking about that roster. Yeah. I think what your overall point is, you need skill, you need speed, but if you don't have that physicality, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and
so, but you have to ultimately play with what the Penguins roster was speed and skill. So how'd they try to win? Well, speed and skill. Yeah. Chicago had obviously Taves and Kane, and they also had elements of the bigger guys. They were more balanced. Vegas, they had oak trees. They didn't have a lot of scoring. They knew they weren't going to win that way, so they won the way that the roster was built. I don't think there's ever one way to win, but ultimately you do want power. You do want speed, and you do want physicality. You do want skill, but if your roster's lacking in any one of those categories, you can't just wave the white flag. You have to.
But there is a certain way to build your roster to win.
Absolutely,
there is.
Yeah.
And if you go down the path of you got too much speed and skill, then that's your own fault.
Right.
So let's bring it back home locally here now. So if you look at the Blues, I think the Blues are built to win. Mm-hmm. I really do. Like, let's fast forward a year from now. And this is not, me still riding high off of the good season that they just finished up with. No. Being realistic, Holloway is only going to be better next year. I would imagine Jordan Kyrou will be better next year. Robert Thomas will be better next year. Bolduc will have more of an impact. Jake Neighbors will have an impact. Snuggie will have an impact. We're 6 players deep of guys that are automatically going to be better next year. So that's a lot of your speed and skill that you're talking about there, except Holloway's gritty. Bolduc is gritty. Neighbors is gritty. So now you've got a combination of players who can score, and they're bringing the physical element. Then you have the Foxa line, which I'd love to see that line come back. Just leave it. Here you go, boys. Radek, here's your contract for 2 years. You're going to be center on this line, and you guys just go out there and pound the piss out of everybody. And they will. So now you've got even more physicality. Yeah. Now, what happens with a Dvorsky? Does he make your lineup? Maybe. If so, then you got a little more skill. Braden Shen, physicality. Like, you have to have this balance. And on your blue line, I'd like to see a little more physicality. Colton Parayko's game this year, I will say this, watching him night in and night out, got way more aggressive. Way more aggressive. And he got even more aggressive following the Four Nations after he pummeled JT Miller. I think he gave him some confidence, too. of like, I'm not worried about these guys anymore. Or maybe it felt good to do it because you ever punch somebody in the face? It feels good sometimes, right?
And actually,
Carey and Jamie still chasing that high.
Yeah,
it's hard to find it without going to jail. It is
so
really
frustrating.
Hard. So
People
tough.
call the police.
Yeah, they get mad. And, it's not funny. But anyways, I think the Blues are headed in the right direction of being a team that can compete and make a deep playoff run. And so when you talk about speed, skill versus physicality, I think Army is going about it the right way. He's accrued a whole bunch of skill, but he's also found players that are skilled and physical. And I think that's the key to success.
Marsh, did you have anything to add there? You were creeping toward the mic at one point.
I just wanted to bring up something that the 314 said. Would they win without the speed and skill?
Would who?
Just, I guess, anybody, but...
I think we've seen...
Like, could you win just purely off of the physicality and wearing teams down?
Well, I think, look, every team has some element of skill, but the 2019 Blues team was not balanced, right? I mean, Vegas, when they won, that was not a balanced team. You wouldn't have called that team a quote-unquote skilled. They were more toward the physicality, pound you, all that stuff.
Like 200-foot game.
Yeah, like I would say that for Vegas. I don't know if I agree with you about 2019 Blues because when I look at the lineup, you had Tarasenko, you had David Perron, Ryan O'Reilly, Jaden Schwartz, some pretty skilled players.
Well, that's why I qualified by saying there of course is there's skill on every team, but I don't know if we've never led off with when they won, 2019, when they won, man. They got some skill, guys.
Well, we always talk about the physicality. I agree.
Well, they had depth. That's what that team had because they could get scoring from all four lines. Like you look at that fourth line, that's not a typical fourth line.
Ivan Barbashev's playing first line in Vegas now.
Right. And Ivan Barbashev, when he played Major Junior, if you looked at his stats in Major Junior compared to like his first few years in the NHL and the way that he played, you're like, wait, what? This guy put up all those points? That doesn't really make sense. But he played to the specific role that he needed to for the team to win. And I think that's where you get the best team to win the Cup. Can the Oilers and Maple Leafs do that? Maybe.
We'll see.
The Oilers were one game away last year.
If the Panthers lose tonight, and I know this is an obvious statement, that I would think the Leafs will win the series. They'll put them up 3-0. But if the Panthers win tonight, I'll say it right now, I think the Leafs are in trouble.
Fair.
Because the series, as it gets deeper and deeper, it plays into the hands of a team like the Panthers.
That makes sense. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. That was Andrew Marsh, and he's got what's trending next on 101 ESPN.
All right, exciting times in pro sports for sure. And I always have a lot of fun watching these games at night when I open up my Circus Sports Illinois app and I go looking around for some fun bets to place. And the best part about it is it's really easy to find the app. Just check out their website or any app store. Download the app. It is super user-friendly. And then you can peruse whatever sport you're looking to get involved in. And sometimes I just look at the odds that are in the game, and it gives me an idea of who Vegas thinks is a favorite in a game. Like tonight, I check it out. The Florida Panthers are minus 231. That tells me that they're probably going to have a really good chance to win that game. Now, I'm not betting that because the odds are not very good on that, but there are some player props in there that are awesome too. There's also parlays that you can incorporate. They've got great lines on futures bets, the tight money line splits, and of course, they've always got the best odds of any app. Better than any other app that's out there, and that equals bigger payouts for you. So please, don't miss out on any of the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circus Sports Illinois app today. Join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
topics in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, it looks like we have another chapter to put into the Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick saga. Pablo Torre, who you've probably seen multiple times on Around the Horn, great show on ESPN. Loved watching that growing up. Pablo Torre, he put this out. Pablo Torre finds out. He had an episode. It says, sources tell Pablo Torre that Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, is now banned from UNC's football facility. One Belichick family source adds, in quote, there is deep worry for how detrimental Jordan can be for not just North Carolina, but Bill's legacy, reputation, everything he has built and worked for over decades. And so, of course, North Carolina comes back and they say, while Jordan Hudson is not an employee at the University of Carolina Athletics, she is welcome to the Carolina football facilities. Jordan will continue to manage all activities related to Coach Belichick's personal brand outside of his responsibilities for Carolina football and the university. Of course, Pablo Torre on his X says, we broke the news in an important meeting where UNC higher-ups told the football program that Jordan Hudson can't be around the facility anymore. Many people around the team heard that message very clearly. You can decide who to trust in terms of how the PR spin goes from here. So I don't know who to believe in this situation. We have two different entities saying one thing, but to me, this reminded me of the conversation that we had about a week ago, Anthony. Do these NFL teams, when looking at Bill Belichick, do they not, when he was going through the hiring process, do they not just want to go through all the shenanigans that we're seeing? And, does this type of media attention, does this work at the college level and not so much the pros?
Well, I do. Marsh, you just referenced it. When we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, I had brought up the point of, maybe we're getting a glimpse of why NFL teams stayed away from him last year during that cycle, the hiring cycle.
Yeah.
I don't think Washington spoke with him. I don't think the majority of the teams even requested an interview. Atlanta got as far as having 2 interviews with Belichick, 2 long, arduous interviews where he, I think, went with blank on his private boat or jet or something like that for a while. And they ultimately had a vote within the Falcons organization. And the vote was, let's stay away from Bill and let's go with somebody else. And they hired Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
There had to be something there.
Oh, there is.
I'm sure, too, it's not only what we're seeing now. It's also the fact that, in New England, the roster got continuously worse. And then, of course, Brady leaves, and there's an element of football there, too. But I don't know, guys. I think the off-field stuff may have been evident, too, to some NFL teams.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it is due to his younger girlfriend. I think there's probably a tad to it, but I don't think the NFL teams cared about that.
Yeah.
To me, what I found out and read and heard is Robert Kraft was actually more hurt Bill Belichick more than anyone. He picked up the phone and called Arthur Blank and basically told him, this is what you're getting into.
Right.
And I think that a lot of the teams were like,
because Seward him
because Bill had gotten too much power in New England and all of these places where he was interviewing. He wanted that kind of power in their organization. And it was buyer beware, basically, from Robert Kraft. I think that was more damaging than having, 25, 24-year-old girlfriend.
Right.
Which I don't even know if they were together at that particular moment. Maybe they had just been newly, I don't know.
Either way, I think your point is well made.
The whole thing is just a little bit weird, okay? Like, I'm not one to talk about who people should date or not date, or ages. My girlfriend's 7 years younger than me. It is what it is. But 7 is way different than being 70 and dating a 24-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's not my issue. It's not my problem. Good for Bill. She looks like a very nice young lady. Good for Bill. But he also has to see what's going on here. People automatically, your initial thought when you see that is, well, what the hell's going on there? Or, she's fame hungry or whatever it is. Very few people look at a 68-year-old man and a 24-year-old girl and think, I bet they really love each other. Like, that's not the first thing that comes out of your mind, or your mouth, rather. So she's been on the field at UNC, and she's building his brand, and I can see how she's helping because Bill has no idea how to build his brand at a 20-year-old, like the way the kids are doing it nowadays,
right,
with Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So she's probably helping him a lot in that direction, but there is probably something damaging, too, as well, for Bill to have his 24-year-old girlfriend always in the middle of everything.
I would say you asked who's being honest here. I think Pablo Torre is probably telling the truth, and I think UNC is like, no, she's welcome.
Yeah,
I don't know who said that. Yeah, they had to, because if the report is, first of all, I know journalism is under attack at all facets and all ways.
No, name one time.
Plenty of times, Danny.
In the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, plenty of times. But most journalists generally try to be accurate and truthful in their reporting. That's their livelihood. They don't just make stories up to feel good. Not generally speaking. You might have a few here and there, but your job is to be accurate and be factual in what you're saying. So I don't think Pablo Torre just woke up this morning and said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ruin my career by making up a fake story about Bill Belichick. That's what I'm going to do this morning. I don't believe he did that. So I do believe he's telling the truth, and I do believe UNC is lying. She probably was banned.
They changed their mind, I bet.
They probably got a call from Bill Belichick or his team saying, hey, we need some damage control.
Or
this
saying,
is
what did you do?
Of control. And saying, hey, put a statement out. Yeah. Nobody knows if she's actually welcome or not. We put a statement out and say she's not. She is.
Right.
She's not. She can't ever come here. We don't want her here. But yeah, sure.
Oh, you better believe there's going to be a picture out tomorrow of her at the facility.
Maybe.
For
and
sure.
It'll be a dog and pony show, and she'll never be back, if that's what they feel. So, yeah, I think that Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches of our time, we're not talking about football. And I think that that's going to be the thing that ultimately is the thing that when we talked about this when he got hired last year, or was it last year, early at the end of last year? I said, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, you did say that.
It's a terrible thing. It's not going to be. There is nothing good about Bill damn Belichick coaching college kids. Not a damn thing. There's nothing good about it.
I don't know if it is.
I know it's not.
Give the guy a chance,
Hell
Carey.
no. This man didn't even let
It's because he's old, right,
This
Carey?
man didn't even let his adult players for the Patriots do any social media. He didn't want that. You think he's gonna walk? He's gonna be in a damn TikTok before the season, before the game starts. He's gonna lose his damn mind. They're gonna be TikTok dancing in the locker room, and he gonna be standing in there like, what the fast lane is going on here? We got a game today. Nah, coach, get in this TikTok dance. This is the new trend. He's gonna lose his day. This is not a good idea. It was never a good idea.
I think it's fine.
Well, now he's going to lose his mind if he's not invited into the TikTok, Carey.
His girlfriend is like, no, Bill, you got to get in the TikTok.
Right.
He's like, I just want to coach. Nah, do the TikTok.
He signed up.
I think this media craziness that surrounds this program at UNC, to me, is different than what Deion Sanders had at Colorado. Like, if you're a college football player, do you want to be a part of, like, what's going on here? Like, it'd be kind of a turnoff for me. I find it different than the media frenzy that was happening in Boulder.
Yeah, there seemed to be, there was like a good, it was a good hype.
It was like
in Colorado.
It was a very like arrogant kind of cockiness, but like that works sometimes with players, and they want to play for Deion Sanders.
Sure.
Deion is completely different in terms of brand. Like, his brand has been, this is 30, 40 years, and like he's been doing this for a long damn time. This is nothing new to Deion. He's always been at the forefront of fashion and media and entertainment in every aspect. He had a damn song as well as shoes and playing multiple sports. The greatest corner. Like, this is what Deion does. This ain't what Bill Belichick does. He's a football coach, and It's going to be a bleep show, and I'm here for it. I can't wait. I can't wait till he loses his damn mind on the sideline because one of his guys are not locked in. Do you understand that? I don't see. This is the part that you don't understand the amount of detail that the Patriots had to have in order to have the success that. Do you honestly think that an 18-year-old kid is going to be that detailed? No. Bill Belichick is going to blow a gasket on the sideline when one of his safeties don't know the coverage, but they were TikToking 2 hours earlier. I'm just telling you. This is a football coach, man. He ain't for all of that other stuff, and he's going in a direction that is going to be bad for him, and I will watch the train wreck happen.
I'd like to place a futures bet right now.
Let's place it.
UNC's making college playoffs.
Oh, please, let's place it. You can roll out to that damn island all you want to. You're going to be by yourself. You and Bill.
You'll see. And when they make the college playoff, they'll have a team TikTok with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend in it.
They might win 4 games.
Oh, you'll see.
They might win 4 games.
Are you saying this season?
No. What's Bill there for? 3 years?
1 year.
No. What is he there for? His contract?
1 and done.
Carey, that's not the question.
No, he thinks he's going to be 1 and done.
I know, but he's
got the
3.
buyout is nothing for him to leave after this year. He's out of there.
Okay. Before he's done.
Don't make the playoffs.
Remember.
No.
Remember this day.
You want to place a bet?
Yeah, I do.
Friendly bet?
I don't touch your hands.
Friendly bet?
You had my hands earlier rubbing up on me.
Does the success of Masyn, Winn, and Victor Scott prove the Cardinals' reset should center around draft and player development? That's next on 101 ESPN. You got to check out my friends at Underdog Fantasy. They just became the best place to make entries during the basketball playoffs. They got their extender promo rolling right now. All you have to do is use one of your Game 1 boost on a Game 1 series, and then you boost each and every round or each and every game beyond that. And the longer the series goes, the bigger the boosts are. Underdog, they're the leading place to make all your sports selections. So it's not just basketball. You can play NHL. You can play baseball. You can play this weekend. They've got even the UFL if you want to partake in some of the Battlehawk stats. And to play, all you have to do, download the app. Got a special offer for you coming up, but just choose whether or not a player will go higher or lower on their stats. So if you're looking at one of the NBA games tonight, you could choose a player that you love. You could choose a matchup that you really like and choose that player to go higher on points. If you hate the matchup, you can go lower on their points. You get the idea. Once your entry feels good, you can play for as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. All because you played at Underdog Fantasy. Download the Underdog app. Sign up with my promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that promo code is Anthony. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
his way to third. They're going to wave him again. Here he comes. There'll be no play at the plate.
Chip Carey, FanDuel Sports Network on the call as Victor Scott goes from first to home. Unbelievable play by
Best
Victor
play in
Scott.
baseball.
BK goes from 6 to 12.
That's right. That's right. A little 6 to midnight for BK on that one.
Yep.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. I was thinking about Victor Scott and Masyn Winn and some of the young players that have developed for the Cardinals. And one of the thoughts that kept coming to my head was, we can certainly, and we have, there's been a lot of teeth gnashing about the Cardinals not building a winner, failing to build that winner. Eventually, they got to the point, and again, we can argue whether or not they came to the realization way later than they should have, but that's moot. Eventually, they came to the realization that they need to go back to their roots, which is really about player development. Draft, scout, draft, develop. Then once they come up, hopefully you have a core that comes up together, kind of like the Memphis Mafia did before the 2011 World Series. But really, it's about drafting and developing, and then, of course, adding. Because the 2004 team, we all know they had, outsiders that made a huge impact, whether it's Jimmy Ballgame or Scott Rowland or, Spezio. Those guys weren't drafted and developed here. But that core, of Albert and Yachty, eventually Waino in 06, that was guys that, if they weren't drafted here, they were developed here like Wainwright. So I think the success of Winn and Victor Scott prove that the Cardinals reset should center on player development. This is the way to do it. You get these guys through the arbitration process. If they work out, you can eventually, pursue them for a contract extension. But if the Cardinals are going to get back to the quote-unquote Cardinal way, they're going to do it through the young players. Do you guys agree?
Well, I think you have to, because the Cardinals are not going to be the Dodgers or the Phillies. Now, and I'm not saying that Dodgers and the Phillies...
Carey.
But I'm not saying that they don't develop their players, because the Dodgers, oddly enough, spend all this money on free agents, but they also develop a whole bunch of really good players, too. Mm-hmm. They've kind of got the ultimate power out there. But the Cardinals don't have that kind of bankroll, or at least they're not going to spend that kind of money,
right? Just
so they don't piss off anybody.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to say that.
So then there's two ways to do it then. It's trading for players or drafting and developing those players.
Mm-hmm. Trading
for players is not as easy as it seems for everybody, because, believe it or not, teams usually want players in return too. So if you're trying to trade for a good young player from a team, they're going to ask you for a whole lot from your roster, and that's kind of counterproductive sometimes. So yeah, all roads at this point for the Cardinals lead to drafting and developing their future stars. Hopefully it's stars, but players. And then maybe, if you're lucky, you sign a couple of free agents that are depth pieces, good, solid major leaguers, because the Cardinals aren't signing an all-star. So, yeah, it's draft develop.
So MD 2020 in the Snake Pit says, why do we expect the development of the minor leaguers to change overnight? This is going to take some time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who that was directed at, but I completely agree.
Okay,
MD 2020.
But let's go back. Yes, I agree with that. But let's look at the roster currently of how many players drafted and developed by the Cardinals.
Newt, Victor Scott, Masyn Winn, Brendan Donovan, Ivan Herrera, Jordan Walker,
Gorman,
yep.
Burleson.
Yes.
Yep. So the Cardinals
those are just the skill positions.
I think the only guys that weren't were Arenado and Contreras.
Mm-hmm.
I think, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I think to my knowledge that's it.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals are actually using that draft and develop model. And as far as their minor leagues are concerned, they have, if their roster is almost 100% of their drafted and developed players, the minor league system can't be all that poor for the Cardinals. Like how they're developing the players. The fact that you don't have a star is problematic.
Right.
I think that's a problem for the Cardinals. But do I think Masyn Winn could be a star? I think he's on the right path. Like last year, I thought he should have made the All-Star game. I thought he was good enough to. He was a Gold Glove finalist. So he's on the right path. But where the Cardinals are missing right now is drafting and developing that next star, no matter what position you're talking about.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think being a star is I don't know that it's going to sound crazy, I'm sure. But the development part for a star, like you either got it or you don't. Like you can.
Yeah, but there's still a marinating period.
Yeah,
in the minors.
but when you're a star, you're a star. Like there's no runway to becoming a star. Generally speaking, normally when you're a star, you're that guy from day one. Like you know that this person is that. I don't know that that's a development issue. I think that's
it could be a draft issue.
Then maybe. But I don't know that most of the guys that I know that were stars didn't need a whole lot of, hey, you should do this. Hey, get the fast lane out the way. I know. I trust me, I got it. So for me, I think that becoming a star is solely on that player. The development part to be a major leaguer, to be an everyday player, I think that's the development that you get from the coaches, and that's how you become a better player and in your craft, and then maybe become an all-star. But when you're a Hall of Famer, superstar, like that's just who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think some people got it, and some people God did that, not Oli Marmol. No offense to Oli, I don't think he would take any to that, but yeah, that's just how that works, in my opinion. I think the Cardinals. I think, to your question, these young players they have to be everyday players. They have to be all stars. They have to be good enough to have this team have success.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guys that they drafted, and you mentioned them, I mean, pretty much the entire team, other than Nolan Arenado and Willson Contreras in the field, the position players are drafted and developed in the Cardinal system, and now they're big league players. So something is working right. But becoming a superstar, I think that's
you either
a star or you either a superstar or you're not.
Yeah, I agree. If somebody comes out like Albert, we all know Albert's story, being as late a draft pick as he was, and he had this spring training. We're like, this guy cannot go back to Memphis or wherever he's going. He's going to have to be with us. I think. What we tend to do, though, is focus on the lack of development for the top prospects. Because we spend a lot of time talking, Dylan Carlson didn't work out. Maybe Jordan Walker won't work out. Maybe Nolan Gorman won't work out. And we tend to overlook the fact that, Masyn Winn was a top prospect, but he was second in that draft behind Jordan Walker that year, second-round pick. But Alec Burleson has turned into a big leaguer. All the players that we met, Donovan, has turned into a big leaguer.
6th or 7th round.
Yeah, so I think we focus on the top prospects because, of course, the expectations are high. But, for all the bashing that we've done of Mo and the fan base has done of Mo, he's not going to leave the cupboard completely empty. And I think we're watching Victor Scott and Masyn Winn and some of these young players, and it's proven that. So, all right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Are the Blues going to be what the Cardinals once were? We'll explain what that is next on 101 ESPN. If you need some new windows, if you need some doors or a door, great. Call Mosby Building Arts. If you want to work with an expert crew, Mosby Building Arts, they do doors. They also do windows. So if you want to upgrade the look of your home, especially on the outside, if you want to up that curb appeal, Mosby Building Arts, they're the right company. They've got honest pricing, high quality work, designers with good taste. So maybe you're not doing kitchens or maybe not doing windows or doors. Maybe you want to remodel your kitchen. Choose your designer wisely. Don't have remodeling regret. Go with Mosby Building Arts. They'll actually come in and they'll provide you as many options as you want, but they'll make sure that the options that they're presenting to you actually match your style. It's not this one house, go to one house, here's what we do. Go to the next house, nope, this is what we do. It's about choosing the best option that's best for you. So they know how to do a job well. Friendly, dedicated people. Smooth, stress-free process when it comes to design to completion. I've seen it for myself. Call Mosby Building Arts at 314-909-1800 or visit callmosby.com to schedule your free consultation today, and then you can see the difference for yourself. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
people that were new here, whether, Broberg, Holloway, and Fowler, come to mind right away. And Joseph said this too, who is new this year, is how much they love this city, how much they love our fans, and the culture in the Blues organization of making people feel welcome by the players, by everybody involved, and how they're treated in the city is they can't. And Rivs, you know this, and I know this, but it's they fall in love with the city. They can't believe it's this good.
That was Blues head coach Jim Montgomery yesterday right here in the Fast Lane. We were talking about some of the exit meetings and some of the things that the players had to say following the full season that the Blues just had. And it got me thinking that we always talk about, we remember the good old days when all you had to do as a Cardinals management is get a player here, and once you had him here, you're going to re-sign him. Or get a player, like even when they were trading for Nolan Arenado, I can remember Matt Holliday talking about how he talked to Nolan Arenado, told him how great St. Louis was. And, all of these things. Are we getting there now with the Blues? Are we getting there to where, because Monty, you guys heard him yesterday, he talked about how the players, they brought this up.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way, Jamie, to answer your question. It certainly feels that way after what Monty said about being in St. Louis, wanting to be in St. Louis, and having the players understand and feel what it's like to have these fans support them. So, yeah, I do think so. It also, the Cardinals won, and they built a culture from expectations. I think this is a key part. I think they built expectations at one point that were low. Not super low, not Pittsburgh Pirates low, not, San Jose Sharks low, but...
Whoa, Anthony.
When it comes to the Blues, they hadn't made the playoffs in 3 years.
Yeah.
They fired the coach again. I mean, we were pumped for Jim Montgomery, but there was a lot of uncertainty. And he slowly built the culture, and they won. So I think that helped. That is added too. And I think if you're a city like St. Louis that loves their sports teams, really loves their sport teams, and you're a team that wins, then we embrace you fully.
Yeah.
And we're going to reciprocate that. Whatever you give us, we're going to reciprocate it times 10.
Yeah, and I also think that this run, too, that the Blues went on helps things, too, because, talking to several people in the Winnipeg Jets organization, they could not believe how loud Enterprise Center was. They're like, okay, we know the whiteout's loud, but it's 15,000 people. It's 19,000 at Enterprise Center, and it was nuts. And the players, too, talked about they couldn't believe what playoff hockey felt like in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And so, it just brought me to a spot. Because if you go mid-'90s to late 90s, that was happening for the Blues. Keith Tkachuk, Scott Mellenby, these guys were brought into St. Louis, re-signed in St. Louis. Keith Tkachuk got traded to the Atlanta Thrashers at the deadline, re-signed with the Blues in the offseason because of the city, because of the fan base, because of they were winning, too. The team was successful at that point. And so it just, hearing Monty say it was one thing, but then Cam Fowler, who played for the Ducks for a number of years and was hesitant to come to St. Louis because they weren't on his, he had a no trade list, and St. Louis was not a team that he would go to originally. Did a little background check, talked to some players, talked to some people around the league, decided to give it a chance.
Yeah.
And this is what Cam Fowler had to say at his end of the season press conference.
I've said this a lot, but I'm so grateful and thankful to this organization from top to bottom for giving me this opportunity and making me and my family feel so comfortable here. So as scary as that decision was at the time, I'm really happy with how everything's turned out, and me and my family have been so happy here and with this team. So I'm really excited for the future, and I definitely feel like I'm a part of this group now, and the way that everyone has welcomed me into the locker room has made that transition very easy for me. So I'm thankful for that, and to all these guys, and really excited about our group and what lies ahead in the future.
Yeah, and then he went on to say after that, he was asked, I believe it was Jeremy Rutherford asked him about his future with the Blues, and he went on to say that he'd like to be a Blue as long as they would like to have him. Mm-hmm. So it just gets me thinking that and let's rewind it now. Because my brain's all over the place, but let's rewind it now. Jim Montgomery's very first press conference, MSG, I was standing 2 feet from him. And somebody talked about, he was wearing a Blues T-shirt. And they go, oh, did you have to dig that one out of your closet, or did they give that to you today? And his first things he said were, once a Blue, always a Blue. Mm-hmm. And then he goes on to talk about the blue-collar city, Jim Montgomery may have realized what he was doing at the time, maybe not, but in that moment, he instantly was building the culture. Instantly. A culture for a team that could represent their city the right way. And then you go deeper into it where Cam Fowler says, people in the organization made me feel comfortable. That goes a long way. He had a child here. His wife was pregnant when they got traded to St. Louis, and everybody bent over backwards to make sure that all that was taken care of. Yeah. And the process was seamless, and everybody's healthy, and the baby's doing great. But you remember that stuff. So now Cam Fowler, he's going to talk to all his buddies back in Anaheim. He's going to talk to other guys that he plays with in the summer or works out with. Braden Shen's at the World Championships right now. He's going to be talking to guys over there. And guys are going to start repeating what Braden Shen... So guys like Sam Bennett, who might be available. I don't know if the Panthers re-sign him before free agency, or any other player that you're looking at via free agency. They start hearing well-known players, good players, rave about the city that they play in and that they love it there. And that goes a long way. Now, ultimately, the dollar bill speaks. Mm-hmm. But if St. Louis is close, and it's another team that has a so-so culture, or the fan base is, there's not a great place to live, maybe you start getting those guys to wear the blue note.
How much do you think the media factors into some of these places? Like, I think of Mitch Marner playing in Toronto, or the media and the questions that he's asked, it's just heightened, right? Do you think players see, like, the market here, the media, how they treat the players, and do you think maybe, I'd like to go play there because it's not so hectic? Do you think that factors into it as well?
It can, yeah, for sure. If you're playing in a Canadian market, any one of them for that matter, you're getting grilled every day. Like, even when I played there, there's somebody at your stall or your locker room every single day talking about something.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really care. I mean, fine with me. But for some guys, it gets to be a lot, especially if the team's not successful or they're not having success, or there's questions every day about whatever. It can get old. And look, the media here in St. Louis is very good to their athletes. They just are. You know, very seldom do you have a media member pinning a guy into the corner verbally about, the way he's playing. Just doesn't happen. And so that, it can factor into it a little bit. Do I think it's like, at the end of the day, that's the thing, we're like, oh, that's the straw that brought the camel's back? No.
It's just one of maybe some of the factors that play into it.
Could be. And I just think that what St. Louis has always done, the city of St. Louis, is it's always rewarded its hardworking athletes. You don't have to be an all-star or a Hall of Famer. You just have to give a damn when you take the field or you take the ice and represent the city. And when you do that, people will bend over backwards for you. They will. Because that's what they're doing every day. They go out every day and they're working their ass off. Why shouldn't you as the athlete? And they don't always have great days, and they know the athlete doesn't always have great days. But I think it speaks volumes as to what the power of a city and a good organization with great culture, the power of that, along with 40-some alumni guys that still live in the city. And then recent retirees like Kevin Shattenkirk and other guys talking about coming back to St. Louis because they loved it here.
Yeah.
All of those things combined create a situation where players might start looking at the Blues and going, man, I'd really like to be a part of that.
It kind of reminds me, guys, of a documentary I saw where...
Oh, gosh.
This guy who had a cornfield, he just kept hearing voices, and it said, if you build it, Ray, they will come. And he really didn't know what to do, so he just decided to build a baseball field.
How did he know what to build? Was it already in his mind that because if you build it, build what?
Right.
Are you Noah? Are you building an ark? I'm asking.
Why would you build an ark in a cornfield?
Why? Oh, I didn't know what build an ark. I don't know.
Well, he had water. He knew water was coming.
He didn't, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Well, I'm just
but he
saying
said if you build it, well, they were telling him, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
What am I building?
Go the distance.
Yeah, I don't understand how he knew to build a baseball field. I do.
Well, he felt it in his bones.
Soul? Like his soul speaking to him?
Yes.
Was it soul or was it just like spirits?
It's a very good question.
Or was it the cornfield itself?
They were ball players. Come on.
But
he
you
didn't
knew
know
what to
that.
build?
Well, first of all,
he
they
could have
were-
built a computer.
They were ghosts. I mean,
Like Marsh,
documentary's called
if you're sitting in the office and then you hear a voice say,
Yeah.
if you build it,
Yeah.
What are you building?
What are you
what
building?
are you building?
I'm building a wiffle ball field. I've had this in my brain for so long.
Yeah.
If I can ever have a backyard that is big enough, I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
There is a
waiting for this
wiffle
moment.
ball field being built in that
Waiting for
backyard.
this.
So that's what he's building. Okay.
You know, I don't know if there's going to be ghosts.
I don't know what I'm
or
building if they say
creatures
that.
or whatever. My
Probably
goodness,
putting down my drink at that point.
we're going to have a great Saturday afternoon.
Honestly, if a spirit said, if you build it, they will come. I'd probably build a football field with a turf track.
Absolutely.
A turf field. They can drain properly so that we can practice and play.
Did you see that on text line? If Rivers heard that, he'd build a bar. What the hell is wrong with you people?
And you did. And you did build a bar.
Did you hear voices that night?
I did.
What? Did you hear voices prior to?
Probably.
Afterwards,
probably,
for sure.
yeah.
And lots of them.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Do we overlook the type of leader that Willson Contreras is? Well, we don't, but CD does. He'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN.
What I do?
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals have a date with the Washington Nationals tonight. Eric Fetty will take the mound for the Redbirds, going up against Mitchell Parker. First pitch is at 5:45. Ivan Herrera has been activated, and he is in the lineup tonight, batting 6th for your St. Louis Cardinals. There is some trouble out east. One player on the Boston Red Sox does not want to play first base. We saw that was not the case here in St. Louis, and we will discuss that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
One thing that I'm going to say is that don't stop believing in this team, because we have everything in this clubhouse that I'm going to say because I feel like it. We have everything in this clubhouse to compete, and the energy that we've been showing from day one until now is amazing.
That was Willson Contreras back on April 13th. That audio courtesy of KMOV. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Well, as Marsh just outlined in the Sports Center update, Rafael Devers has essentially told the Boston Red Sox that they can go Fastlane themselves when they requested that he move to first base. Kind of saw this coming after the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman in the offseason. Probably should have traded for Nolan Arenado. Nolan was willing to play anywhere. Could have kept your non-third baseman Rafael Devers at third base if you wanted to. Nonetheless, Carey, when you read this, you thought, man, kind of nice to have a guy like Willson Contreras and his leadership.
Yeah, because Willson, obviously, we talked about it. His first year here was not a year that I think any player coming over, signing a huge deal as which he did, would expect to be treated in that manner. There were complaints about his pitch calling, like what pitches he was calling, even though they have pitch com and they can choose their own damn pitches.
Or they can shake them off.
Or they can shake them off. It's amazing. They were complaining about them throwing curveballs and fastballs over the heart of the plate. Imagine how that works. He got blamed pretty much for everything. And then you follow that up. He breaks his arm the following year, has a host of injuries, was playing really well. They ask him, hey, you know what you should do? We need more strikes from us. Scoot up a little bit. What about the guy with the bat, coach? Don't worry about it. He won't hit you. He won't? No.
He'll be fine.
Everybody's scooting up. It's how we steal strikes in this league. Okay, coach. Broken arm. Right? Broken damn forearm.
I don't know if that's exactly how that went.
How the meeting went.
I feel like it might be close.
Say, scoot up a little bit. Coach, I don't think it's safe. You'll be fine. You got all that damn gear on, Willson.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny if somebody within the Cardinals organization go, yeah, we don't know why you scooted up like that.
It would have been perfect.
Didn't make sense. The guy's got a bat, you know?
He's got a bat. So now you break your arm in the second year. Third year, you know what? No, we signed you to play catcher, paid you a lot of money, 87.5. You know what you're going to play? You're going to go to that first base. And Willson,
really is
to
wild.
his damn credit, has not complained. What, you know what? I'll be the best damn first baseman I can be. I'm going to work my butt off all offseason. I'm going to work my butt off in spring training, and I'm going to do the best job that I can do. And you haven't heard a peep from him in the complaint department. Like, you haven't. And then I read this article from Rafael Devers, who's like, hey, you know, I'm a ball. He said, this is what he said, I'm a ball player. But at the same time, they can't expect me to play every single position out there. In spring training, they talked to me and basically told me, put away my glove. I wasn't going to play another position other than DH. Right now, I don't think it would be an appropriate decision for them to ask me to play another position. So
he would never work here in St. Louis.
What?
Day two, they'd have been like, where's your outfielder's mitt?
He's like, nah, I threw it away. I burned all of them. You told me I was a DH.
Right.
Willson is like, whatever you want me to play, I'm going to play it. I'm going to show up every single day. I'm going to work my butt off. Yeah, I've been a catcher my entire career. I have played
World
other
Series
positions.
Catcher.
World Series winning catcher.
Winning catcher. I have played other positions, but you want me to focus on this. And I think we don't give enough credit to that as a ball player, as a veteran ball player. player. Like when you are a veteran, and I don't blame Rafael Devers. You're a veteran. You're a guy that has done a great job. You are a third baseman, and then they hire another player for your position. You're like, well, what the fast lane is going here? All right, they move you. Cool. But when you are that caliber of player, you kind of reserve the right to say, nah, I'm not doing that. But Willson has not. He has showed up every single day, done what he's supposed to do, done what's been asked of him, and he's done a fantastic job. And I don't think it gets enough credit here for the player that he is, not just the player that he is, but the team leader type of captain that he is on this team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we've said it since the moment he got here that he's been fed a crap sandwich over and over again, and he keeps telling you it tastes great. It's just because...
More.
Yeah, give me more. How about another one? But if we go to the Rafael Devers thing, like, it really is kind of funny. What the hell's going on there? Like, did you not talk to the guy first before you brought in Bregman? A guy to take his position. By the way, Devers is making $27 million a year. You didn't think, hey, by the way, Rafael, we're thinking about bringing in either Bregman or Arenado. Bregman's going to play third base. Arenado will play first base. Which one would you rather have? I think he would have said Nolan Arenado. Mm-hmm. But this is just weird because you've got a $27 million player now who's telling you how he's going to play, when he's going to play, where he's going to play.
Right. And the only reason why they want to move him to first base is because Cassis is hurt.
Yeah,
so.
No, the flip side of that is he could be a good teammate and give it a shot.
Thank you.
Like, come on.
Thank you. He's making how much?
$27 million.
Okay, grab your mitt and shut up.
That's why I'm not.
I agree with that.
I'm making $27 million. What you going to do? Send me home?
I'm going to trade you.
Cool. Do you have no trade clause?
Pirates.
Yes.
Does he have a no trade clause?
I don't care.
He probably does.
I'll trade you anyways.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, it doesn't. Trade you to Major League Baseball's version of Siberia.
Should I still get $27 million?
Colorado.
I don't think that they can trade him.
No, they probably can't. Yeah. Well,
I just thought it was interesting.
No, you're right, Carey.
Willson has been a really good.
He's been a model. He has been a model citizen. Do you think they're punishing him because he was a Cub? Like this is just
I don't think that's how. I don't think so.
No. Okay, so they are just incompetent.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
They got 3 catchers on the roster, Anthony. What do you think?
That's fair. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. And not more than half of them can't actually catch.
Good point.
Or half of them. Half of them can catch.
Well,
you can choose which ones, which half. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
Catch, you can't throw.
That's true. Yeah, which is part
they all can catch.
Which is part of the catching position.
The one that can throw is not throwing now. He's playing first base.
Very true. Is the NFL as healthy as it has been in a long time when it comes to the quarterback position? There's some news around the league that, I mean, really dating back to the draft that, as I look at things, I'm like, you know what? The NFL is not too bad when it comes to the quarterback spot. I don't remember the last time we said that. That's next on 101 ESPN. You've seen other dealers brag about their huge inventory, then make you drive all around town to find it, but not here. Not at Auto Centers Nissan. Over 800 new and used vehicles, all in one easy location right off I-55 in McNutt and Herculaneum, just minutes from South County. No lot hopping, no headaches, and during the Bloom and Vroom sales event at Auto Centers Nissan, You got to listen to this. The great deals. No payments for 6 months on select new Nissans. No payments for 3 months on used vehicles. A complimentary new lifetime warranty. A 30-day new car return promise. And 3 oil changes that are included on every new Nissan. So if you're purchasing a new Nissan from Auto Centers Nissan, they're going to hook you up, man. Even if your credit's seen some better days, their credit experts will finance almost any situation. In fact, they've got the best financing department that you're going to find in any dealership here in St. Louis or the surrounding areas. Visit them at autocentersnissan.com. Or when you head down there in person, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, where the inventory is big, the savings are bigger, and the nonsense is nowhere to be found. About 10 minutes, you can play in the Gauntlet, but you do have to text into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Again, if you want to play in the Gauntlet, you can, but you do got to text in. Carey, I was thinking about you earlier today. Saw a really interesting report from a very reputable NFL reporter.
Anthony, we don't have to go down this. We talked about this earlier.
Like I said, I thought about you, and it's very interesting.
I actually want to hear about this because I did not read that yet.
So ESPN's Peter Schrager said, quote, I would keep an eye on the possibility of Kirk Cousins being traded to the Steelers.
I wouldn't.
You know?
I honestly wouldn't.
What a pickup.
What a pickup that would be. Do you guys play the Bucs this year? Because if you play the Bucs, that's a guaranteed win.
Yeah, I would say no. That
Kirky Cousins lit those fools up.
Yeah, I would say no in regards to Kirk actually being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. For one, why would the Atlanta Falcons do that? You know, you're going to have to pay the majority of his salary anyways, probably as much as possible. That's kind of like what the Denver Broncos did with old Russell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
Steelers
see.
did it too with Russell.
Well, he didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't owe him anything. They didn't have to pay him.
I mean, they also had Justin Fields.
Kirk is going to be
instead of Mason Rudolph.
Kirk is going to be due a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And if you're the Atlanta Falcons, you always, and I do mean always, need a solid backup quarterback. And if you're paying him anyways, why would you let him walk?
Well, because the Steelers are the only team right now that are really desperate for a signal caller.
They're not desperate. They're in good space. They're in a good place.
You can't believe that.
No, they're fine.
You can't believe that.
I do.
They're one of the few teams that actually
drafted
need
a quarterback. They drafted one.
In the 7th round?
The 6th round.
6th round?
Where did Tom Brady get drafted, Anthony?
6th round.
Where did Brock Purdy get drafted?
7th.
So there's value, in the later rounds.
Do you believe?
I do believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be just fine.
Oh, boy. So I didn't just bring this up to torture Carey, although that certainly is fun. When I look around, guys, and I'm not saying everybody's got a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying everybody's just fine at the quarterback position. I'm not saying that. But when you think of the Kirk Cousins situation or Aaron Rodgers situation, there are not a lot of openings. Buffalo has their quarterback. Miami has theirs. The Jets are rolling with Justin Fields for now. The Patriots have Drake May. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson. The Bengals are good. The Steelers and Browns, ironically, they play in the same division. They're the only teams that are really hurting.
Browns got 15 quarterbacks on their roster.
Browns are going with quantity over quality. But pretty much everybody else outside of maybe the Saints, because of the Derek Carr injury situation, everybody else has got to be at least comfortable with what they have. I can't remember a time in the NFL where we weren't talking about almost half of the league trying to figure it out at QB. Now it's like only a handful of teams.
That's why I said during the draft, when Shedeur fell, it wasn't surprising because there weren't many teams that needed quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The Seahawks drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round, but they also paid a quarterback in the offseason. Same thing, the Las Vegas Raiders paid a quarterback in the offseason, Geno Smith. So there were not a lot of spots that were in need of a quarterback. And I think teams like the New York Jets are like, we're going to try this out with Justin Fields. If it doesn't work, we'll be back in this position with a better draft class in the 26 draft than there was for the 25 class. So you're right. There aren't a lot of spots, a lot of spaces where teams are in need. Either they drafted their quarterback within the last 2 years, or they paid their quarterback and they're set.
Yeah.
So it's not a team. It's not a team that actually needs a quarterback other than maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they drafted a quarterback.
Maybe
they drafted the national champion quarterback Will Howard. He was the team captain. They got both team captains, Jack Sawyer
He
and
doesn't believe a thing
Will
he's
Howard
saying right now.
from the national champions. You want to be better? You want to be a champion? Hire champions, right? That's how you do it. They know how to do it. I believe that. Will Howard said he's the best quarterback in the draft. Just wait and see.
How do you feel?
Ask him.
How do you feel about
Just
the
ask him.
Vikings? The Vikings situation.
They got a quarterback. They drafted him last year. Yeah. Kirk Cousins can go back there. He's familiar with the
why?
offense.
They've got a quarterback,
He's familiar with. They need a backup. You're trying to give us Kirk to start.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell.
You're welcome.
Kirk Cousins is coming to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm sorry. I think there's a pretty easy connection there.
No, thank you.
You got Artie the one-man party coordinating your offense.
Yep, we're good.
I feel
now,
good.
Kirk never did that, quarterbacked his offense, but still,
There
they're
you
both
go.
in Atlanta at one point.
It's their ties.
Yep. Go ahead, Marsh.
So Tom Brady on Logan Paul's podcast talking about J.J. McCarthy, ringing endorsement.
What school did Tom Brady go to?
Michigan.
What school did JJ go to?
Michigan.
And won a national championship.
Wow. Wonder.
I think we'll be fine.
Marsh, it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great.
It's not.
To be a Michigan Wolverine. Come on, Jamie. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
I gotta take these headphones out.
Carey, come on.
Big Ten school.
It's a Big Ten school.
Not saying that. It is not postseason and Illinois is sitting at home watching. We are all ready to go. We're getting ready. We're getting ready.
For what?
I told you what Heather Dinich said.
What did she say?
She said that Illinois, the University of Illinois, could be this year what Indiana University was last year. What did Indiana do last year?
Got roughed up in the playoffs.
In the who? In the what?
In the playoffs.
In the where?
Playoffs.
Okay, there you go. Could have stopped there.
What is he talking about?
He thinks Illinois is going to be a playoff team.
Illinois lost 3 games last year. 1 to Ohio State. Sorry, no. 1 to Penn State. 1 to Oregon, both on the road. And then terrible loss. Terrible loss to Minnesota. The only 3 losses they had last year.
You remember when Mizzou had a good year and then we thought they were going to make the playoff and then they didn't?
Yeah.
You know how Mizzou didn't have all of their players coming back that time when we thought that? Illinois is bringing back 18 of their starters from last year. We'll talk about it. Or we don't have to. You can believe what you want to believe.
Well, you'll bring it up.
Oh, damn sure will. You better damn believe it.
Marsh, we did get I think a request from Gator.
Whoa!
Gator wants to know what's the latest on that poll.
Oh, yes. So let's look at the poll real quick. Last time I checked, we were looking good in favor of keeping the lineup game, but let's get those numbers for you. I know some people like statistics on this show, Anthony. All right, the question is, should the fast lane get rid of the lineup game? Yes, says 20%. No, says 80%. We are at 191 votes, and we have about an hour and 50 minutes left to go on Marshy's poll.
Okay, there you go. Waterboy also saying, I hear Central Michigan could have a football team next year. Hey, listen.
They have a team.
They're damn right they have a team. You know Army, the success that Army had, right?
Doug Armstrong?
No. I'm talking about Army, the football program.
How'd that work out for them?
Real well. I mean, they've been doing really well. You know, you remember that team, right? And their head coach, and their OC, and their DC. Well, we got their offensive line coach to coach our team.
Oh, the head coach.
The O-line coach for Army is now Central Michigan's head coach.
Oh, okay. So you all are running the triple option now.
They didn't run the triple option.
The Army didn't?
I don't think so.
Army run the option? Army always runs the option.
You know what? I'll go back and look at the film. No, I think they moved away from that.
Did they?
They probably didn't. No, I think they got to run the triple option, quite frankly.
Think so.
Yeah. Well, maybe Central's going to run the triple option. You never know.
Oh, I doubt it.
Get back to old school football. Might run the wing T. Western Michigan will never see it coming.
Never.
Nope.
It's a hard thing to prepare for.
Exactly. So
I actually wish I'd have ran in my last year coaching. I really should have.
Didn't
4 plays.
That's it.
4 plays.
8
if you go right and left.
Did Cam Ward run the wing T?
Cam Ward.
Coming out of high school?
That was Cam Newton.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
He
may have.
Because he wasn't a zero. I think he was a 0-star recruit.
I don't think he ran their option.
Is that bad?
It's not great, but look where he's at now.
No.
Worked out well for him.
I'm just saying, you could find your Cam Ward, Anthony, for Central Michigan. And then he'll probably leave.
I can't wait to talk about North Carolina, Illinois, and Central Michigan all in the playoffs next year. It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. Gauntlet next.
4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:02, your time check. Brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in John. What's up, John?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How are you?
We're doing great, man. Beautiful day outside. It's a Friday. Everybody's feeling pretty good. Appreciate you playing. Thanks for listening. Would you like Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, or me today in round 1?
I will take on... who's the Illinois football player? Is that Andrew or is that Carey?
That's
Carey Davis.
I'll take on Illinois. I'll take Carey.
Yes, thank you.
go.
Are you a
Take him
Mizzou
up
guy,
behind the
John?
woodshed, please, John.
What'd you say? Sorry, you cut out.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U. Let's go, baby.
Okay.
Whoa.
That's it,
There
Carey.
we
Get out of here.
go.
Good luck, John.
Did you just... No, I didn't do it. Nope. Yeah, nothing.
John means business,
Yeah,
Carey.
he does.
Wow.
He's locked in.
There's a rivalry here.
Yes. All right, John, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
What are you hoping for?
You know, I don't know, actually.
Honestly, John, I believe you.
Well, this is perfect.
Well, this is going to line up, yep.
A Mizzou guy, an Illinois guy. And Carey's been hyping up the Illinois football team.
Yeah, I heard that earlier.
It is football, John.
Oh, John.
Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs next year.
Oh, wow.
Laugh.
I do agree
Sinister.
with that, though. The heck, Carey's out to lunch on that one.
Okay.
My Tar Heels are going to make it before they.
All right, John, you're going to get 4 football-related questions. Each one is worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I am.
Question 1. Who was the preseason AP #1 team in college football last season? This team went on to finish 11-3 and was ranked 6th in the AP poll at the end of the year.
I'm going to say Georgia. Final answer.
All right, John, question 2. Name the only NFL team that had 10 wins last season that was left out of the playoffs.
I will take my options.
All right. Was it the Seattle Seahawks, Cincinnati Bengals, or the Miami Dolphins?
I will say the Seattle Seahawks. Final answer.
Question number 3, John. Name the last non-quarterback taken #1 overall in the NFL draft.
I'll take my options, please.
Options are Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, or Sauce Gardner.
I'll say Sauce Gardner.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, John.
I don't like it.
All right, John, final question. How many teams make up the current UFL? How many teams make up the current UFL?
I'll take my options, please.
8, 10, or 12?
I'm going to say 12. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Carey from the Cone of Silence. John, how you feeling?
Not very good. I'm a little intimidated by Illinois over there. For a reason.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see what Carey brings. He's walking in right now. Doesn't look too happy. Almost looks like kind of disgusted and ready to go. Right, Carey?
I'm good.
Ooh, that's how I know you're not. Wow, that wasn't convincing at all. I've known you for a long time, and I know you're not good right now. You're ticked off.
I believe Carey. He looks locked in right now. That's why he seems so, calm.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Carey.
You can't tell me a pack of lunch?
I'm trying to see through your crap here for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pack of lunch.
Your category today is football, Carey. You got football. You ready? Mm-hmm. Question 1. Who was the preseason AP #1 team in college football last season? This team went on to finish 11-3 and was ranked 6th in the AP poll at the end of the year.
All right, who was 6th? Wasn't Ohio State, wasn't Michigan. They weren't #1. Probably an SEC team. Texas? Not Alabama. They weren't even in the playoffs. Georgia. Is it Georgia? It's going to be Georgia, Texas, or... I don't think it was Texas. Was it Texas? I'm trying to think it was in the Final Four the year before. It was Michigan. Washington. They weren't even ranked. It's going to be Texas or Georgia. Texas or Georgia. Texas or Georgia. Texas. Final answer.
All right, Carey. Question number 2. Name the only NFL team that had 10 wins last season that was left out of the playoffs.
10-win team out of the playoffs. I could go by division. It's going to take me a long time, and I know you all shot clock.
Wow. There's a lot of judgment going on here.
A little testy.
Jeez.
NFC.
You think he's fine, huh, Marsh?
Not the South.
I don't think so.
Not the West. Not the East. No. No, because 4 of the 3 of those guys. Okay, AFC West. AFC South, no. AFC East, definitely not. Dang it. That's the North. Did the Bengals have 10 wins? They didn't have 10 wins. Options.
All right, was it the Seattle Seahawks, Cincinnati Bengals,
damn it, man,
or Miami Dolphins?
Do the Miami Dolphins have 10 wins? Ooh. I don't think it was the Bengals. It might have been the Bengals, actually. Ooh, that was the team I said first. Bengals, final answer.
Question number 3. Name the last non-quarterback taken #1 overall in the NFL draft.
Non-quarterback, #1 overall. Jeez Louise. How far back do we have to go? Cam was last year. Who was the year before that? It would have been a quarterback. It was one of those quarterbacks. I can't remember which one. The year before, options.
Options are Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, or Sauce Gardner.
Say the question again.
Name the last non-quarterback taken #1 overall in the NFL draft.
Sauce wasn't the #1. Aiden Hutchinson? He wasn't #1, was he? I think Trayvon Walker. Aiden Hutchinson, final answer. That sounds terrible. Feels terrible, too.
He's a hell of a player, though, Carey.
He is.
All right, Carey, last question. How many teams make up the current UFL?
8. 8. Final answer.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Let's go over these.
You guys are terrible.
How many teams make up the current UFL? We just heard Carey say 8. John took the options. He went with 12. Correct answer is
8.
Carey on the board with 2. 2-0. Carey Davis. Who was the preseason AP #1 team in college football last season? This team went on to finish 11-3 and was ranked 6th in the AP poll at the end of the year. Carey, without the option, said Texas. John said Georgia. Correct answer is...
It is Georgia.
And John did not need the options. We're all tied up 2-2. 2-2 here in the Gauntlet.
One or the other.
Name the only NFL team that had 10 wins last season that was left out of the playoffs. Carey, with the options, said the Bengals. John, with the options, said the Seahawks. Correct answer is
Seattle Seahawks.
John up by 1. Comes down to this. John with 3 points. Carey with 2. Name the last non-quarterback taken number 1 overall in the NFL draft. John, with the options, said Sauce Gardner. Carey, with the options, said Aiden Hutchinson. One of Jamie's 12 favorite teams. Lions.
Yes, one.
If it's Aiden Hutchinson, we've got a walk-off. If it's Sauce Gardner, John rolls. John.
You have chosen wisely.
Correct answer is...
It's Trayvon
Yes,
Walker.
Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker.
No one Sauce.
Sauce Gardner, not a number 1 overall pick. And Aiden Hutchinson, not a number 1 overall pick.
I didn't think he was.
He was 2nd overall. Yeah. John wins 3-2 today. John with a victory not only for himself, but Mizzou.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Good job,
John. You will be back on Monday to take on either Jamie, Marsh, or me. Congratulations.
It's been an honor and a privilege, gentlemen.
Oh, well, thanks. Very nice. Yeah, thank you.
John,
Yeah,
let
no.
her rip. M-I-Z.
Yeah.
Z-O-U.
All right, John.
Let's go, Tigers.
We'll call you on Monday.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks.
Carey's so pissed right now.
It was Georgia or Texas. I knew that. I'm like, it's Georgia or Texas. I felt like there was so much publicity around, Texas is back. So that's why I went with Texas. Georgia or Texas. Nah. And then the Aiden Hutchinson one, I had no clue. Seahawks, that's a good guess.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many you would have known all of those?
Georgia, I would have known Trayvon Walker. The Seahawks one would have thrown me off, but I think
I would have said Bengals.
I would have got there with. I knew the Bengals only won 9 games, and I knew the Dolphins didn't win 10, so I would have had to get there with the options, and then I would have known 8.
I had already, I knew that one. I had already made my mind up on the Bengals.
Yeah.
Before I took the options.
Yeah. I don't remember when. I mean, I knew Seattle had a good season, but I didn't remember when.
I didn't remember 10 either. And not making the playoffs.
I would have eliminated the Bengals
9.
and Dolphins. Yeah. All right. So it's been a while since we had somebody go to the penalty box. So Carey's going to make his way to the penalty box. Coming up next, if the Cardinals are at a crossroad, what is the best direction for them? Might want to try continuing to win. Just a thought. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, do we have a quick update on
the
that
poll?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me take a look at said poll real quick as Carey's making his way to the penalty box.
Carey losing in said penalty box.
It's terrible over here. You can barely hear yourself. Am I loud enough, guys?
I can't remember the last time somebody was actually in the penalty box.
It was me.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Last week or the week before.
Okay. All right, so Carey now is taking his place in the penalty box. Go ahead, Marsh.
All right, so I think the last update we had 20% at yes and 80% at no.
Okay. Now
one number has gone up and one number has gone down.
It is the no. We're now at 81%.
82% say no. 18% say yes. 211 votes. We have under 90 minutes to get those votes in, and we'll see if the lineup game will stay right here in the Fast Lane.
I am thinking it probably will. All right. The Athletic, Katie Wu, put together a piece about John Mozeliak, and the title was Cardinals, John Mozeliak chasing results while building transitional runway. Mo, who has been with the Cardinals obviously since 2007, he'll remain in his current role through the end of the season. He's going to work closely with Bloom during this transition, focusing on long-term organizational strategies and ensuring a smooth handover of responsibilities. The question is, and Marsh, you posed this, if the Cardinals, or maybe it was Carey, if the Cardinals are at a crossroad, what's the best direction for them? If the Cardinals are at a crossroad, and they are, if they keep playing well, what's the best direction when it comes to how they're building? Mm-hmm. Is it continuing to just say, hey, this is a transition year, so we're not going to really do much at the trade deadline? Or do you kind of shift and say, well, this was a lot better than we thought, so maybe we do something different at the deadline or at the very end of the year?
I think I cannot hear myself at all. I think
don't know if I
this
can
is
hear you.
truly a punishment. Can you not hear me?
Yeah, we can.
You can
hear me?
Okay.
You can't hear him?
I mean, that mic's so bad. I don't know if I'm hearing.
Talk louder, Carey.
I'm talking loud. Is that loud enough for you guys?
Perfect,
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's just so far away.
Well, it's so hard to hear over here. I think that if the Cardinals... Wow. Really, Jamie? What? Is it dark in the room?
Come on, Jamie.
What are you doing here, huh?
I got a light right above you. Stop it.
It's my halo. I think if the Cardinals I think it's going to be an intriguing situation if they get to the trade deadline and are in striking distance of winning the NL Central. I think you have to be, in my opinion, I think you have to be able to win the Central in order to even have a conversation. If you're in the wild card, we saw that last year. You were in the wild card with 5 or 6 other teams, and we got a chance. No, you don't. You didn't have a chance. You didn't really have a chance. So
you're lying to yourself.
You were. So I think if you get to that point this year, it's going to be an interesting conversation that they have. I personally think you should go the way that you have been planning on going all year. You planned on trying to trade Nolan Arenado at the beginning of the year. It didn't work out. If he's still a commodity come trade deadline, I think you should move on from him. If Ryan Helsley is still a highly sought after bullpen arm closer for a team at the trade deadline, you should still move him at the trade deadline. And I think you should go in the direction that you have been planning to go. I think the worst thing you could do is, we actually got a shot, and keep those guys. And then you're stuck in a position where you don't make the playoffs. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Ryan Helsley if you're going to re-sign him, or you end up losing him in the offseason. You don't open up the spot for Nolan, Gorman, or whoever you want to play at third base if Nolan isn't hitting when Nolan Arenado is moved. I think that if you make those decisions, you probably set your organization back another year or two and not moving in the direction that you wanted the process to go.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm in line with Carey on this one. I think that if you're the Cardinals and you're in it or close to it come trade deadline time, I think you just let it ride. And if there's something maybe you can improve on, maybe a bullpen arm or something like that, a veteran player that you'd have for that purpose, yeah, you go get that guy, because I think you owe it to your team that has gotten you this spot to at least give it a shot.
Sure.
Do I think you go and you empty the cupboards of prospects trying to find guys? No.
Right.
But I think that if this team in its current state gets you to where you're right on the cusp of being in the playoffs, then ride it out with them.
So I think that's what you just said, Jamie, works hand in hand with what Mo's strategy could be. Now, the messaging is, Mo wants to emphasize patience with the young talent, but he wants his team to remain competitive. That's kind of the crux of the article.
What they've been trying to do for the last 3-4 years, though.
He acknowledges a potential fork in the road by mid-June, where the team may choose to either push or contend to lean harder into development. Front office is open to shifting gears based on results, especially ahead of the July 31st trade deadline. But I still think that what Jamie just said, in that maybe they shift subtly and add a bullpen arm or something like that. That's the shift. Not what I agree with you, Carey, in that you're not going to just say, hey, we got a good deal for Nolan Arenado. We could get out of this contract like we wanted to before to open up a spot. Nah, we're right there in the wild card. You know what?
That's what I think that's what that article is saying. They're leaving themselves open for if they are competitive.
But I don't.
That they can say the fast lane. We're going to stand. We're going.
You might be right, but it doesn't benefit Mo to say, like, no, hell no, I don't care where we are in the standing. I'm trading these what.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
It also I think it's a peek into you're looking inside the window and actually seeing what they're saying. Like, I have no reason to believe that he would be lying about that. If they are in a position to be competitive, they probably are going to shift the preseason philosophy and stand and say, you know what, we got a chance. Because the motto or the philosophy has been, or what we think it has been, is just get in and anything could happen. Now, you know that that's not true. Mm-hmm. It's generally, again, there's an exception to every rule. It does. Yeah, the Diamondbacks come along every now and then. You can say, oh, look at the Diamondbacks. Look at the St. Louis Blues. That's the one people like to go to, Jamie. Then when they won the Stanley Cup, they were in last place. It's a hell of a season. Give me 15 more examples of that happening. You can't. Because there is an exception to every rule.
Yeah.
And the odds of you being the exception are not high.
I'll give you an example of a team that sold last year, still made the playoffs, and are now the best team in their division with 25 wins on the year. That's the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
So sell at the deadline.
Okay, so you mentioned the Diamondbacks. You just mentioned the Tigers, right? The two exceptions here. Diamondbacks came out of nowhere. Tigers sold last year at the deadline, still made the playoffs, and now they're, like you said, they're in first place. What do those two teams have in common? They have one big, significant thing in common.
They had pitching.
Correct.
And have pitching.
Correct. This is why I maintain when the Cardinals decided, we got to sell out for hitting. I don't care about pitching. And I'm exaggerating. But
no,
when they transitioned, because they were tired of watching their, they had this draft philosophy of, just find guy, we'll get guys that can pitch, but then we'll just kind of, we'll go for the higher floor position players. They made a switch, and I think they went too far with that. And then they wound up thinking that they could roll with the pitching they had. Carey, you've brought this up a lot, and you're right. They got injured. They thought we're better. They got injured, and then they tried to go the Band-Aid route because the offense is going to be good. Mm-hmm. The one thing that the Arizona Diamondbacks had that year was pitching that developed on the fly and became great. And the Tigers, true ace in Tarek Skubal, and now they have one of the best starting fives in baseball. It's pitching. So I don't think going into this deadline, and let's just say they're even in the NL Central, and saying, we're right there. You're not.
Yeah. I think the even though we laugh you laugh and you hate the Dodgers philosophy has been really good with pitching. They just get as many pitchers as possible because they know eventually they're going to get hurt.
Sure.
And even though they have 14, 15 pitchers on IL, they got 14, 15 more.
Right.
And they just roll them through. Like, you're hurt. It seems like they focus a lot of their evaluation, their scouting on getting high-level pitching. And while they're young, they're going to spin them. Let's go.
Yeah, I think their philosophy is to buy the top
hitters,
players.
Anthony, we're talking about the pitching.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Shohei Ohtani not a pitcher?
Has he pitched? When is the last time he pitched?
Yamamoto not a pitcher? I forgot.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count?
Doesn't count.
Tyler Glass now when they traded for him?
They traded for him.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's different. I got you.
I think what's nice, though, if you're a Cardinals fan, is that you look at the Detroit Tigers and you look at the LA Dodgers, two separate ways to getting to the same record right now. 25 wins, 13 losses. The Tigers have, you talked about the pitching. They have the best run differential in baseball. They've scored a lot of runs, and they're like right behind the Cubs in terms of runs scored. Like they can also hit the ball, so they're well balanced right now. But if you would have told me,
name their star too.
Well, I think
for all the star, like you gotta have a star. Name their star.
It's Skubal.
Name the star position player.
No.
Thank you.
Point made.
And
point
I thank you.
Do you have one?
No, they don't. Exactly. That's my point. Like a lot of people are like, well, you have to have a star. You have to buy that. You know who they bought? They bought Javier Baez, and now he's playing outfield for them because good. He's sitting 7th. They're like, we'll just take what we can get out of you. Like the Tigers have built a young team centered on pitching, and yes, Marsh, you're right. Some of their young hitters have come about here, whether it's Gary Carpenter or Spencer Torkelson. These are high draft picks that have panned out. But we talk a lot about, I don't want to be the Cleveland Guardians or the Tampa Bay Rays. All right, well, Tigers are doing it this way too.
I think another thing to mention here, we talk about, maybe Nolan Arenado gets traded. He's got to approve of that.
Yeah.
If the Cardinals are in a spot to make the playoffs, he might not want to leave.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, make him.
Treat him anyways, Anthony.
Go get it. And I think the one other thing that the Tigers have that the Cardinals don't is they've got somebody in Zach McKinstry.
Kool-Aid's brother.
Fire up chips.
Yeah, he went to Central Michigan. So it's just something to think about, guys. Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646. Got a question for us? Send it in to the Air Comfort Service text line. Part 1 of the Six Pack is next.
Hey, it's Carey Davis for Window Nation, and they are offering a huge sale right now. Window Nation semi-annual sale is a huge deal. It's a big deal. How big? 60% off and a free exterior door when you get a whole house of windows. Now, that's a big deal. Plus, you can get 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments locked in for 2 full years. Right now, financial security is a big deal as well, and if you want even more, they'll give you 2 free Cardinal tickets when you replace all of your windows in your home. Imagine getting some of the best windows you can buy for a lot less than the expensive guys that they offer. And unlike most home improvement companies, Window Nation backs their product with a lifetime warranty with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 45,000 customer 5-star reviews. You can trust Window Nation for quality and service. Hurry, Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to get 60% off. No interest, no financing for 2 years and free Cardinal tickets. Schedule your in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit them online at windownation.com. That's 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Ivan Herrera up, Lucan Baker down. He has been optioned to Memphis AAA. You know who's up? The Cardinals are. They've won 5 in a row, and they look to continue that win streak as they take on the Washington Nationals tonight. Eric Fetty on the mound. Mitchell Parker opposing Eric Fetty for the Nationals. First pitch tonight is at 5:45. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. So get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question. Answer me! The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with question 1 for the Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 1.
All right, this one comes from the 217. The Cubs jumped the gun, saying the new Pope is a Cubs fan before it was shown he is a White Sox fan.
Oh, boy.
How would you feel if you suddenly became internationally famous and a team, say the Ravens or the Sharks, tried to claim you as a fan?
Yeah, it'd be tough.
That'd be ridiculous.
It's tough here on this show when you're called a fan of a team that you're not.
Especially when you have a truce with somebody and they go behind your back.
Oh, okay, Carey. You know what?
Truce.
This Sharks thing's been going on since 2019.
No, we had a truce.
I don't feel bad for you.
We had a truce.
It's been since the fall. And I messed up.
I had a truce.
And I messed up.
You fired
and
the first shot.
And I owned up to
the
it.
First shot.
You guys had a truce?
Yeah, we did. And
we did. Scumbags.
And he ruined it.
You can't do that.
Nah, we obviously, clearly. Because he's clearly a Sharks fan.
I want a new truce.
No. Carey,
fine.
You're just going to get burned again.
Clearly.
Fine.
You know, I was all in on the truce, and he just...
You guys apparently didn't tell anybody else about the truce.
Hit back door. Bam. Hit me right in the back of the head. Didn't see it coming.
You know, Carey, I feel for you with the Justin Tucker situation with the Ravens, man. I mean, somebody that's been really good for you for a long time. Last couple of years, not great,
Really
but now you got the off-field stuff.
Quickly. See how quickly it happens? It's good.
I said I wanted a retruce.
Nah.
And you said no.
No.
So fine.
Oh, okay, boys.
That's where we are.
Ready.
Yeah.
A lot of animosity in this room right now.
Yes, there
I
is.
kind of like it.
It is quite riveting.
This is what Jamie wants, by the way.
He wants us at each other.
Yes, he does.
Question number 2.
This is a perfect question to transition into. From the 314, do you guys hang out outside of work?
No.
Jamie invited us over.
I did. Carey's been over to the house.
He was wearing his Canadian Speedo.
Yeah. Carey loved it.
No, I didn't.
You took a picture.
Well, before you... Nah. Took a picture of the shirt. You still had shorts covering the Speedo.
I did.
Didn't see the Speedo at all.
No, the Speedo only comes out. It's the victory Speedo.
You took it right when you were walking up to the door, which we appreciate because we didn't know if because he was saying like, go Team USA
I saw him through the window. I said, look at this man. I had my camera out, so he couldn't cover himself up. As soon as he opened the door, boom.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cover this up. I'm proud of this.
That tight ass sweater we had on.
That's my speed skating jacket. Built for speed, baby.
Yeah, we do. Yep. There's been certain events.
Yeah, we always have a great time. It's just geography works against us for the most part. And take this the right way. And busy lives and children also is difficult, especially in the wintertime. Because if Anthony's going to come over to my house, it's probably a good 35 minutes away. And then what are we going to do? Stare at each other? Because the kids are going to have nothing to do. I mean, I don't have toys and stuff at the house.
Yeah. I got little ones. It's tough.
Yeah, now Carey lives, 6-7 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are close, and then Anthony and I are close.
I know. What we'll do is we'll hang out together in one house, and you guys will Zoom each other.
FaceTime, yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're together. Huh?
Anthony and I went to a karaoke bar together.
Yes, we did.
You did?
Yeah, Marsh came to
I remember the invite. Oh, no, I didn't get one.
You were on the road.
I didn't get it either.
It's still nice to be thought of.
I didn't get an invite either.
I know.
It must have been a South St. Louis thing.
Yeah.
I invited you to the one trivia night.
You didn't invite us. Patrick invited us.
In fairness, I did get invited to this because I lived close.
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
By default.
Who's near me? Marshy's close.
But I appreciated the invite. We had a good time.
Did you all
had a
do
great
karaoke
time.
together?
No,
Did you guys
Marsh
do a
did.
duet?
No,
Y'all didn't sing a
Marsh.
song?
No, Marsh went up there solo and he killed it.
Really?
Anthony was my manager then.
I was booking
what's your
other
go-to?
events.
Oh, I
for him.
sang Creed.
Creed?
Yeah.
I was going, been a while.
People thought Scott Stapp was in the bar that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Marshy.
I had my Cowboys jersey on and everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Dallas Cowboys?
No, I would never put that thing on. It's disgusting.
When we do have an opportunity to hang out, we always. I mean, that's a good time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's basically the
Soon,
breaks.
boys. Soon. Hey.
It is.
Might be twice in 1 month.
Yeah.
It is the breaks.
Soon, as long if Carey
It's
doesn't,
the break. It's
if
the
Carey
commercial
doesn't
breaks.
blow us off, we'll have the.
Why would I
He's
blow
not
you
going
off?
to blow us off.
I'm not blowing anybody off.
That's what I heard.
Stand-up guy.
Question number 3.
All right, let's be a little bit more serious
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
From the 636, do you guys anticipate the Blues making any changes to the coaching staff? Is there a chance Steve Ott takes on a head coach job this year or in the near future?
Well, that's a great question. It really is. There are a lot of jobs available in the NHL right now at the head coach position. And Otter is definitely inching closer and closer to, exploring those options. I believe he went through some of the interview process last offseason. I know that Doug Armstrong would happily let him leave to take a head coaching job because he feels like he owes that to Otter for everything that he's been doing for this organization. If it's a lateral move, you're not going to see it happen. Otter's not going to go be associate coach somewhere else. He'll stay right here in St. Louis. But if a head coaching spot did open up, he would take it. And I don't think it's that far down the road at this point. I think it's pretty close. I think Monty would love to keep the existing staff together, but great head coaches should always know that their staff is going to get plucked because that's what your job is. Right. As a head coach, your job is to not only hire good coaches, but also develop the coaches. It's actually a badge of honor when you move a coach on to be a head coach somewhere when they were on your staff.
Yeah, it speaks volumes to you as a head coach when you have a coaching tree that has so many other coaches in other places that have such great success. I think, and your job as a head coach, not only to prepare your team, but also prepare your assistant coaches for when that opportunity does arise, how to be a head coach in whatever league you're in.
Yeah, you don't want to build a staff where nobody's going to come and pluck assistants off of that.
Or your assistants don't do well?
Yeah.
Like the Patriots?
Or you hire bad coaches on purpose so that,
so they won't
nobody wants them.
Plucked, exactly.
The team leaves
that
the
sounds
city.
familiar.
Yeah. I'm just throwing out random examples.
All right.
Not talking about anybody specifically, especially not a
anybody
Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. Well done, Jamie. We'll continue our Sports Six-Pack, 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Part 2 of the Sixer next.
question? It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
All right, time for part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack now in the Fast Lane. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line, so if you want to continue sending some questions, still got some time. Marsh, question 4, please.
Question number 4.
All right, we have one from the Frito Man. If the Cardinals stay on track and win the NL Central, is Oli Marmol still the manager of the year? Do you think
He's
he'll
the
win?
manager. He's the manager next year regardless.
Manager of the year.
Manager of the year? Or manager for another year?
Oh, I'm
For
sorry.
next year.
Is it next year? Pardon me.
Yeah.
I read that wrong.
I was like, manager of the year for winning.
Yeah,
I was thinking, wait, what?
No.
Well, okay.
I mean, if he wins the Central, maybe he is the manager of the year.
There was an article that came out earlier this year. It was like, maybe he'll win manager of the year. I don't know.
No, sorry, okay? You read it wrong. It's not my fault. You get mad at me.
I'm going to blame you, Jamie.
I think.
Jeez, guys.
I think he's the manager next year regardless.
I think Chaim Bloom throws him out the door. Head first.
Throws him?
Yeah.
You do?
No, I don't know.
Nah.
I think Oli would put his hands up, and I don't think Chaim Bloom would ever be able to put his hands on him.
You seen Chaim Bloom? That's a
Have you
pretty big
seen
guy.
Oli?
Chaim Bloom, you ever see that guy?
Yeah.
He does MMA training.
Does he?
Yeah, he's a video
Oli
online.
fights Grizzlies in the offseason.
He might. Be a hell of a fight then.
Really? We just made that up.
Yeah, you both did. You're both making stuff up.
Chaim Bloom was a paratrooper.
What, in World War II?
No, it is modern day. It's even hard. He jumps out of those F-18s.
Can you jump out of those?
Yeah, he does.
He's the most interesting man.
Bill Brasky. One time jumped on him. He's gonna be the manager next year if they make the playoffs. Yeah. If they don't, I also wouldn't be shocked if Chaim Bloom hired his own guy.
Who would he hire?
Anybody?
No. Okay, I'll take the field for $100.
It's baseball, right? Like they could hire anybody.
You're right, Anthony. Go ahead.
He couldn't hire anybody.
Gabe Kapler got 2 jobs. Like
He wouldn't hire.
Yeah, he's good in the weight room, though.
He was very good in the weight room, and he was also good at just listening to what the front office told him to do. So
how'd that work out?
He made a lot of
not
money.
well.
He made a lot of money.
Yeah, he did fine. Yeah.
Bad game.
What's wrong, Carey?
Because he said he could hire anybody.
I know.
Who would be the worst person to hire?
That's a good question.
But it's not fair.
I think
man just got fired.
Huh?
Guy from Pittsburgh? Oh, that guy had no.
Derek Chauvin.
I mean,
What
come
the
on.
hell did he have to work with?
He was
Carey?
hired to be fired.
So he's a good manager then.
We don't know what the hell he is. He was
I've been saying
managing
about Oli for a
Pittsburgh.
few years now. Somebody argues with me every day.
It has happened before. A team that in this city, you make the playoffs. See you later.
It has happened before, yes. And, of course, they had no reason to let him go. None. They just said, to hell with it. We don't like your book. Take your book.
Take your book and go.
And go. San Diego.
Now we're still looking for that book.
By the way, did you guys see Schulte challenge the umpire?
No.
The other night?
Like to a fight?
Yeah. He comes out and he's got his little managing card, and he looks at the guy and goes, "You want to F and go?" The guy's like, he throws it. Then he takes his glasses and throws his glasses and like rolls up on the guy like he's going to throw down with the up. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. There's a funny breakdown. I think it was at that John Boy.
Yeah.
He
I
does
think they came back and won that game, too.
Anyways, Schulte wanted to fight the ump.
He's a underrated psychopath.
Oh, yeah, that Mississippi moonshine hits him. You know what's going on then.
He cost us Randy Rosarena.
He did.
You know? Went on that rant. Now, should he have been videotaping that? No.
There's nothing wrong with the rant, except it wasn't for public consumption.
No.
Team meeting, folks.
Randy.
Oh, sure, I'm going live.
I'll tell you who would like that video. This new Bill Belichick. Right, Carey?
Jordan.
Nope.
She'd like it.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is going, I'm telling you, I'm going to watch his head explode on the sideline. I'm telling you, he's going to blow up.
It's very graphic.
Oof. Yeah. All right. You know, smoke coming out his ears.
Okay.
First time.
Yeah, listen, Carey.
Somebody in the secondary blows the coverage that he went over 45 times in practice.
Should have went over 46.
Probably.
It's Bill's fault.
It's all his fault.
He's on the coach.
You see the white smoke coming out of Bill Belichick's ears. It means UNC has a new cornerback in place.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Question number 5.
From the 314, if you could only give credit to one of these things for the Blues' awesome push the last couple months, would it be the overall team talent, the depth or structure, or is it the style of play? I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong. Man, I'm having a tough time.
You're inching towards the orange reading group. No offense.
No,
it's not a good place to be.
True.
That's what happens. You know, you two are hanging out. You guys are having fun. That's why me and Anthony have been hanging out.
Yep.
Let me read this one more
Now,
time.
Poor kid can't read. It happens quickly. I don't know what to say.
I think a little more and your mouth is going to slip too.
Yep.
Oh, man.
All right, from the 314, if you could only give credit to one of these things for the Blues' awesome push the last couple months, would it be the overall team talent / depth or structure / style of play?
Structure, style of play. For sure. Absolutely. They were tenacious in that run of the 19-4-3 down the stretch. Teams couldn't breathe out there. Like the Blues their checking was so efficient and their defensive play was so efficient. So for me, that's the number one thing.
Brandon in the Snake Pit says, which answer was Jim Montgomery?
Huh?
That should be the answer. Jim Montgomery.
Well, kind of is with structure and style of play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All encompassing.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure.
Question 6, please.
Question number 6.
Is that the only one? Jamie and I were just saying words and hoping he turned around and you said the magic words.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And boom,
sometimes you have to activate them.
That's exactly what that looked like.
Yep.
Because Jamie was words.
I came
words.
It's like our controls are
right.
Unplugged. The battery died.
I got this, guys.
You're doing great, Marcy. I'll listen to them.
From the 573, is Rafael Devers in the wrong for playing hard to get after the team took his glove away from him in the offseason, then came crawling back when they were desperate?
Nah. I mean, depends on who you are and
I
how
think
you
he's
feel.
a piece of crap. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know if he's a piece of crap, but he's definitely not the.
I don't want him as my teammate.
Team first.
You want him on your team?
I do not.
I
traded him to Colorado earlier.
You did. He
I
doesn't have no trade.
And ate the contract.
I disagree. And I disagree because
this always surprises me when Carey sticks up for the individualistic guys.
Okay,
so
here's why I say that. You have a teammate, and I'm going to compare these two things. You have a teammate that's holding out because they want a contract. Are you on your teammate's side? Or are you like fast lane that you need to be in camp? You need to be here with us.
So different.
I'm asking,
Carey.
which one are you?
But
answer.
I'm trying, but you just keep talking.
Well, you said it's so different.
I was trying to give you an answer, Carey.
You can't answer. Sorry.
I'm allowed to answer now?
Go. Is that how it works? I activate him?
Oh, now you're
activate him?
He's buying himself time.
No. Go.
Now you're going to let me have an answer?
Yes, you can answer now.
I don't want to answer now.
There it is. Hit your ball, Gilmore. I'm not answering, so quit asking.
I have no problem with the guy who does not have a contract, who's holding out for more money.
Okay, so they hire somebody to replace you, and they say, we're going to play you at this position. You say, cool, coach. You're only going to play this position. Cool. And they come back to you, and they say, nah, you know what? Now you're going to go play here.
Yeah, I know. I'm good with that. Because you know what? I was drafted as a defenseman. I ended up playing center for a lot of games.
Yeah.
And goalie.
And goalie.
And forward.
I don't think that's the same.
Well, center. Forward.
I wish I had $27 million, though.
There you go. I think I don't have a problem with it.
You put me at that point.
I don't have a problem with it because you already. You didn't. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know this to be true. I don't know if they asked him or if they mentioned to him, "Hey, we're going to trade for a third baseman this offseason. We're going to sign a third baseman. We're bringing in somebody to replace you." So that's already a slap in the face.
We're not replacing you. We're
You
just
did.
shifting you.
You replaced me. So that's slap in the face number one. You're just going to be the DH. All right, you slapped me once. You're not slapping me again, man. You're not.
Depends.
No,
Jamie.
I'm not into it.
I'm not, Gary.
Jamie.
I don't knock those that are.
Can I talk to Rafael Devers here?
Talk to me.
If I may, Rafael.
Please talk to him.
The only reason why we were searching for a third baseman is because you're terrible defensively.
Cool. Then why you want me to play first base? It's the
Playing
same
first
thing.
base is easy.
We didn't.
It's not. It's incredibly hard.
Rafael.
Tell him, Ross.
Rafael, in our defense, we didn't even want you to play first base, which is why we took the glove away, but we had an injury. So now we need your overpaid rear end to go to first.
Yeah, I would love to see Carey Davis.
Did I? Is that better?
That's good.
That made it worse, actually.
But I would love to see Carey Davis while he's playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of his teammates. I don't know. It's not apples to apples here, but let's say on the defensive side or offensive side of the ball, there's left tackle and left guard and all that stuff. Like one guy has to play a position that he's not signed to do, and him sitting there in the locker room going, "No, I'm not doing it." I would love to see Carey.
I think that's different.
Why?
I do. I think,
bro,
transitioning from a left guard to playing center, like if you play offensive line, you could probably play all
I said
three.
it may not be apples to apples.
I do think that that's
But if you
different.
had a teammate that refused to play a different position,
if they brought
and he
a
could
guy
help the
in,
team,
if they brought a guy in to replace him at his position,
Anthony,
and they said you're
he's
going
not
to
gonna
move
be
here,
honest right
I
now.
think he's choke. I
and
think
then they
he's
say
choking
now
him
you're going to
out. I
move
really
there,
do.
and he's like,
I don't believe
I think
anything
you put him in
just said.
chokehold, Carey.
You don't have a problem with Raphael.
All right,
I don't
moving on.
believe you.
I don't.
You and your mushroom coffee.
You know
high
us.
when I said that.
All right, how much does the Cardinals' timetable for the reset depend on Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman?
Oh boy,
that's next on 101 ESPN. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 506. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. How much do you guys think the Cardinals' timetable for this reset depends on Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman?
I don't know about timetable. I mean, we'll get into that. For me, it's just how much success will this have? Because if Walker and Gorman don't start reaching even close to potential, this is a disaster. It is, because those are supposed to be your secret weapons. Left-handed weapon in Gorman and a right-handed monster in Walker.
Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be. It's all we kept hearing about. And now neither of those guys can hit the baseball.
Right.
That's a disaster. So what was the original question again? The timeline?
Yeah, because I was thinking about Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, how it...
That sped up the process.
Exactly.
Yeah. This will slow down things tremendously because... Yeah. Again, then the question internally is how long do you continue to try and develop these two? When and if do you trade them? Like what? It's an awful feeling as an organization when your two top prospects that were supposed to be just animals aren't. Because then you've already have a lot of time and money invested in these players, and then here in St. Louis in particular, you're going to wonder, are they going to go somewhere else and do great? Should we wait? Should we not? But then we waited too long with Dylan Carlson, but we still don't want to be impatient. Like, it's a terrible spot for the Cardinals to be in right now. So I think their development, their success can slow down this retool transformation, what do you call it, by like 2 years.
I can see that because then you're not developing a middle-of-the-order bat.
No.
It's
and
not,
you don't have one coming up.
Right. It's not just... These guys aren't developing, and they're at one point top prospects. It's the fact that neither of them developed into a middle of the order bat. Like, that's the significant part. As excited as we are for like Thomas Ajacey and Weatherholt,
they're not middle of the order bats.
I don't know if they will be. I mean, maybe Ajacey doesn't profile as that, and Weatherholt, who knows? We're a ways away for him, but. Again, the bottom line is it's not just not developing young talent. It's not developing young talent that you can stick in the middle of your lineup. Now, if Ivan Herrera turns into a cleanup hitter, then that changes things a bit, but you're still missing two significant pieces that you thought you were going to have.
Yeah, I think you were hoping that those three guys would be your 3, 4, and 5 hitter at some point. When Nolan Arenado isn't here, when Willson Contreras is... Maybe you can put him at 6. Like, that should be Jordan Walker, Ivan Herrera, and Nolan Gorman should be. I think that's the thought process of how they would want it to go. You got Winn in the 2-hole, Newt Bar batting leadoff, or Victor Scott, however you figure that out. If Victor Scott continues, if you want to bat in the 9th, whatever.
Hey, let him roll, man.
Yeah, but
Michael Harris, the second in Atlanta, he batted down the bottom of the order for the Braves, I think his entire rookie year, or at least close to it.
Yeah, so I think you have to have power in the middle of the lineup. And I think the Cardinals have lacked that for the last couple of years since Albert was here, since he had that miraculous 22 season that you were like, whoa, this is pretty cool. But you haven't had a home run hitter, a guy that you knew was going to give you even 25, I feel like. It's been a while.
Yeah. Were you even trying to avoid it?
I was trying to.
At this point, when we say that, we should be forced in our whatever saying, be like, it's been a while.
And just keep rolling.
Just keep rolling.
Yeah,
with it.
I like that.
So yeah, it's it will slow the process down if those two guys, because Ivan Herrera has already shown thus far that he's capable of doing it. Can he continue with that's yet to be seen, but we still got time for that. But those two other guys need to be able to have some power and need to be able to drive some runners in.
What do you think of Splashback Deuce in the Snake Pit?
I think he's a great guy.
Yeah, no, not about him. His comment.
I thought you were doing a character check.
No.
What did he say?
No, love the Deuce. What I'm saying is, and what he said was, he thinks that Gorman and Walker should try to hit the ball better.
I don't disagree.
It's actually a good thought.
I mean, that's
what are your thoughts on that?
Splashback, you might be a coach.
It's
simple.
Splashback might actually be Oli.
You might have unlocked something.
It might be.
Wow. Oh, that would be interesting.
As we know, Oli likes to keep tabs on radio shows.
Some would say
Yes, he does.
Jordan
Whether or not
Walker
they
needs
show
to
up.
swing softer.
Nah, you swing as hard as you can.
Perfect segue to, was it Swan?
How you going to hit the ball far if you don't swing as hard as you can?
Yeah, it was Swan
Gorman's
who
trying to do it. He slowed his swing right down.
he did.
It hasn't worked for him either.
Swan reached out to all of us today. He says, which Cardinal do we think this is? Answers in the original post. And it's a snapshot of the baseball savants.
Yes.
You know, like advanced metrics for Jordan Walker. Bat speed, 99. Everything else is in the toilet. And
swing hard, man.
The warmonger on X says, have you considered not swinging at every pitch as hard as you can?
Anthony, if you don't swing hard, how are you going to hit it far?
Oh, yeah.
If you just hit it properly, it probably helps too.
It certainly does.
Hey, you know they say that with golf, and I still haven't bought into that yet.
Yeah.
I swing that.
You do need
hard as hell.
There was always a saying.
What I lift all these weights for if I ain't going to swing hard?
Blow out of my shoes. It's like Reggie Jackson at the golf tee.
This one saying, it always stuck with me when I grew up playing baseball. The harder they throw, the further they go.
That's what they said to you. So you weren't intimidated by the speed.
Is that what that was?
Is that what that was?
Now, I'm sure there
Makes
is
sense.
some physics to it, but yeah, when you're when you're in the dugout and you're watching somebody throw just gas, that's the go-to
That's
for
what
your
you want.
coach. Yeah, your coach is
You
like,
want him to throw
you
it that
want
hard.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, harder they throw, harder it goes. and then when you're older, you realize you're like, yeah, no. I had a coach tell me one time he was throwing so fast. He's like, hey, listen, this guy's wild. He's wild. Just, listen, take a few pitches. This dude, grease BBs right down.
3 in a row.
Went back. 3 in a row. Went back to the time. The coach is like, I mean, you could have swung it at someone. Could have swung at one of those. The coach, tell me not to swing.
He's wild.
He's wild.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, center cut. I probably would have swung right through him anyways. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do need a new Beat the Streak contestant. Our guy, Andy, his streak is over at 5. Who do we have to blame for that? Because Andy had a nice run. Who failed Andy?
Brian Reynolds did.
Stupid Brian Reynolds.
That's why they fired the manager.
That's why, yeah. That's exactly right. All right, so we need a new Beat the Streak contestant, 314-399-9646. So we'll play Beat the Streak and Bet the Board next in the Fast Lane.
to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Time to play Beat the Streak. This is where we try to predict one of the players in the Cardinals or tonight Nationals lineup to get a hit. Poor guy Andy. Streak at 5. Longest for a fan thus far, a listener thus far. But we do have a new Beat the Streak contestant. It's Neil. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. So all you have to do is pick a player to get a hit tonight. But we're going to go over the standings first. Marsh, what's the latest streaks?
I got a streak of 12 right now.
Oh, so you're one away from tying the all-time streak, which is also a tie between Carey and I.
Yes. I had Alec Burleson in that game against the Pirates. He gets the big base hit. I told you guys, I think I was more fired up about Alec Burleson even getting on base than about the Cardinals taking the lead in that moment. Because I know what's at stake here, Anthony. So today, I have a streak of 12. Carey has a streak of 4. Jamie, you have a streak of 3.
All right.
O'Neal Cruz did not get a hit along with Brian Reynolds in said game. Anthony, you're back to 0. And, of course, we have Neil, who now joins the show. So,
all right, so the order will be Marsh, Carey, Jamie, Neil, and me.
Correct. I'm going to go with Brendan Donovan tonight.
He would.
Okay.
Johnny Baseball for...
Give me Ivan Herrera. Got him hitting the home run.
A lot of doubling down here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is it me?
Yes, sir.
Give me Nolan Arenado.
All right, Neil, you're up.
Let's see, we got a lefty on the mound, so odds are better up top, so I'm going to go Masyn Winn.
Okay. Now, Marsh, I got away from my strategy.
Which was, who do you believe will not get a hit tonight?
Exactly. And I had a couple in a row, and I thought to myself, you know what, this can't work forever. And I switched it up, and I've gone hitless again. So I'm going to choose the player that I don't think has any shot in hell in getting a hit tonight. And that, of course, is the man that's hitting under 200. And that's Jordan Walker.
Already typed it in.
Thank you.
He's going to hit a shot.
Well, I hope so. For everybody's sake. But I don't think you will. That's the point. All right, Neil, have yourself a great weekend. Hopefully we'll chat with you again on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Blues Warriors say hi. What's up, James?
All right. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Hope to see you guys soon, and we'll see what happens.
You got it, man. Thanks a lot, Neil.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. From
Blues Warriors, man.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Great bunch of guys.
Absolutely. From Beat the Streak to Bet the Board. All right, here we go. Latest standings, Marsh.
Anthony, you are in the lead with 4 points this month.
Yeah.
All 3 of us are tied at 2 behind you.
Okay. You guys should start using those parlays.
Here, I got this for you.
Nope, I don't want to look.
Give it to him again, Jamie. What you have for him?
What the hell, man?
What happened?
Give me the Vegas Golden Knights on the road against Edmonton. I don't think Vegas is out of this series by a long shot. Give me Vegas plus 115 tomorrow night in Edmonton.
Oh, today is Friday.
It is.
Marcy was going to correct you.
He was. I saw his face.
I saw his face, too.
Like, what?
I didn't know what day it was. I thought it was Thursday.
Like, if they were playing tonight.
Yeah. Which is why I said tomorrow night. All right. Vegas in an upset.
Who's up now?
All you guys are tied.
Too. Give me Austin Riley. 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI tonight versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Is that where you were going?
No, it wasn't.
You do not sound confident.
I am going to go with a game tonight. Dallas Stars on the money line, plus 122.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the same game. I'm going to take the over in that game. Dallas, Winnipeg, over 5.5.
Ooh. Spicy.
I thought about going over in the Vegas game, but then I didn't.
You should have.
Son of a...
Oh, never mind. I thought you meant for last game.
No, next game, which is Saturday. Game I can pick.
Good job, Anthony.
Because it's Friday.
I'm sorry, I forgot what day it was.
That's because you were off yesterday.
I'm not going to lie. When I was home last night, I was like, man, it's great that it's the weekend.
Oh, no.
And then I was about to go to bed, and I was like, oh, crap, I got to go to work tomorrow.
We did think about doing something to you.
Had it worked out, we had something for you.
Yeah.
Well,
But it didn't work out. But it didn't work out.
No, I'm not going to do it.
No, in case we decide to do it another time.
Exactly.
What?
It only works a certain time. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
That time will come.
It will.
Well, now I'm going to be thinking about it.
You're fine, Mark.
You're not going
good.
to remember.
Nah.
Don't worry about
You're
it.
forget about it.
You
Whatever
guys
you
are-
do, don't think about it.
You guys are reverse psychology me, so I never take another day off of work.
I can't do it because these guys are going to play a trick.
Just never know.
Marsh, did you know you had you have 9 weeks of vacation? I can't.
Those guys said that they had something planned.
I can't risk
Never
it.
leaving here again.
Yep. Gets a cot in the back room.
That would be terrible. How awful is that? You're so worried about a prank being played on you, never leave.
You guys walk in, and I'm like, just in a ball under the desk. What are you doing in here?
Little would he know that that's actually the prank.
Gotcha. Marsh, when does your poll end?
The poll is ending here very soon. Why don't I look at
Should be in 5 minutes.
the statistics right now?
You get a last-minute push.
Yeah.
Last minute push, we shall see. We have 20 minutes left in Marshy's poll, so get to X and vote on that poll. But right now, it's looking good that the lineup game will continue to happen. 82% say no, 18% say yes, 233 votes. Oof. Anthony, if you want to do the math on how many people need to vote yes to get rid of the lineup game.
Nah.
No? Okay. Looks like the lineup game will return, but you never know. Things could happen in the last second.
All right.
Things change, Mark.
We've seen it happen before.
You're the starting quarterback now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Brandon said this is the longest Marshy's poll has ever lasted.
It is, yeah.
Chew it
New
and do
record.
it, Marshy.
BlueChew.com.
New record. Have the Cardinals finally found a way to get through those last inning moments? We'll talk about this revamped and potentially the best bullpen ever. Next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals, they're taking on the Washington Nationals tonight. 5:40 first pitch, so it's coming up here very soon. Eric Fetty on the mound. He'll go up against Mitchell Parker. The Cardinals have a 5-game winning streak, looking to make that 6. If you have missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our shows there. That's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Tonight, we have Game 3. It's the Pacers and the Cavs. Pregame starts at 6 with the tip-off at 6:30. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American or a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If the Cardinals finally found a way to get through those late inning moments. You guys believe in this pen now? Gordon Graceffo and Steven Matz kind of entered this flexible role.
You can get JoJo and whomever. John.
The hell out?
Well, no, they still there.
Right? Well, I mean,
out of the high leverage situations.
Yes.
Yeah.
But JoJo Romero, John King, basically if your name starts with a J, you out.
Chris doesn't start with a
or
J.
C.
Okay. You want to get rid of JC?
No, I'm saying if it starts.
JC could hit a curveball.
No, he definitely can. Absolutely. What I'm saying is if your name starts with a J or C and you pitch in the Cardinals bullpen, you are no longer allowed to pitch in high leverage situations.
Okay. I need to look into that.
Okay.
I'll let you know how I feel about it. But yeah, I think I don't see any reason or any need for Gordon Graceffo to go anywhere. I thought he's done an outstanding job when he's gotten his opportunities. You have the three that you do trust: Kyle Leahy, Phil Maton, and Helsley. You trust those three guys. You got Steven Matz, also who you trust in some high leverage situations. Those three guys, those 5 guys, I think you're comfortable in any late inning situation as long as it's not back-to-back nights where they have to perform. So you're going to have to get some assistance from your starting pitchers, and you are also going to have to get some assistance from those guys, the J's and the C's that you just spoke about, in the moments where they do have to perform. You're a professional baseball player. You're a major league player. You have to do your job or you won't have a job. And that's essentially what it boils down to. If you're not good enough doing your job, somebody's going to replace you. Mm-hmm. And we know that that's just the nature of the business. So I'm sure those guys are well aware of it. They're chomping at the bit for another opportunity to go out and prove that they deserve every opportunity that they get. And when those moments arise, they have to show up.
I wonder too, like there is a camp that's like, hey, don't trade Ryan Helsley at all. Don't trade him, pay him, even though he may walk in free agency. Even if you do attempt to pay him, like people are like, hold on to Helsley. I wonder if those people change their minds if Gordon Graceffo can be a setup guy first and eventually transition to the closer role.
Yeah, here's what I don't understand. Apart from a very select few, most of the guys who occupy the role as a closer in today's baseball world, once they hit the opportunity for free agency, it's almost like that's the downside of their career.
Yeah.
Like teams who draft and develop a closer like Helsley, you're getting the filet mignon as he's under arbitration. You're getting the best version of that player.
Correct.
Whereas other positions, sometimes it's like the prime of their career following their arbitration is now you're getting the best player. But with a closer in particular who throws heat like that, like it's on the downward.
Right.
So I'm of the camp of trading the asset while it's still valuable. Because if you wait another year or two and velo starts to drop, not getting the job done quite the same, elbow starts to hurt a little bit, now you're like...
It's typically not worth it.
Not for a closer.
It may bite you for a year, maybe 2, but usually when it comes to a closer or a reliever, it just...
And if you're in a
doesn't work
position
out.
to compete at that point, then you go find your closer.
Right.
You might already have them.
You might, but if you don't,
I think
you don't, then you go trade. You're going to find a closer on a crap team somewhere.
Yes.
There we go.
Hell, the Yankees closer a year ago was Luke Weaver. And now he's the closer again because Devin Williamson is just, unfortunately, is having a bad year. What's your problem? Why are you shaking your head?
You all attacked me.
What?
You and you.
Who did?
Last year at
Bring this
Centene.
up again.
Who did?
Because you love to twist this. You love to twist this.
Who? Question of the day. Who did Carey Davis say was the worst
Overrated.
player? Overrated in the sense of you can find another. Go get one.
He was having a career year. You
Which
can't
is
call him
more of the
overrated.
reason to
In a
trade him.
record-breaking year, Carey.
You stay on topic. We're not saying don't trade him.
Last year.
A year ago, you said overrated.
You did. You called him
I
overrated.
Not
explained
overrated.
it in the sense of the need for that position. Not that he's an overrated player. He was your only
Cherry
all-star.
picking.
Totally.
No. I just remember
Marshy,
the look
quick, pull up
you
the
two
audio from that show.
gave me. And I said, we don't even know when
Was that the same show you guys berated me for saying Alec Burleson was the St. Louis Star?
Probably. We were at the
That was also at St. T.
Yeah.
It's definitely the same week. 'Cause you guys had some terrible takes that week. I remember.
You guys had a bad week.
Jamie and I were locked in. Morris, Carey, you were all over the place.
Now everybody wants to trade the guy.
That's when your teammates carry you guys.
You can find
Unlike
another
Rafael
one.
Devers, we grabbed our first baseman and we went out to first.
You guys.
When you guys were struggling.
You guys.
And Carey couldn't catch. We caught 4.
Exactly. Yeah. When Carey moved way too close to the batter's box and broke his forearm,
Because you told me to.
we helped you
You
out
said
there.
scoot up. You need to steal
I
pitches.
thought your arm was tougher than that.
You thought I had the Winter Soldier arm?
We
Clearly.
did, yeah.
Didn't. He knows what I'm talking about.
The Winter Soldier arm.
He ripped the steering wheel.
It was awesome, wasn't it? That was awesome.
Anthony, you got to see the new movie, man.
Can't
Is it
drive.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
It's one of the best of all time.
It's on Rotten Tomatoes. It's in the 90s.
Probably going to win an Oscar.
Probably not.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Okay.
So then I don't want to see it then. If it doesn't have awards
Well,
written all over it.
Jamie, you weren't going to watch it anyway.
That's a good point.
You ever seen any of
No, I don't
Marvel?
like them.
No? What do
Actually,
you
I don't care. I really don't care.
Okay.
I don't choose not to watch them.
Yeah.
I just they're never on. Like Reed, Ashley's youngest, he loves the Marvel movies.
So why don't you and Reed sit down, do what I did.
What's it
watch.
called?
Listen, you start from.
No, I'm not doing that.
I do
There's
want
like
to do
30
that.
movies now.
I've been
Thank you,
saying
CD.
that. I do want to. I just don't feel like I have time. I mean, when do you get time? It's
when do
always
you
a
get
damn
time?
game on that you
It's a
gotta
year
watch.
ago, late at night, I watched a movie at night
How late?
after the kids went to bed.
How much were you drinking?
A lot.
Okay.
I don't feel like I have time because it's always a damn Cardinal game on or Blues. They just ended. It's something that I gotta watch for work.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'll get up here. And
Well,
go,
we're talking about it right now. I
Yeah.
mean, if it was a tax write-off thing, I talked about Marvel movies, so it's for work.
Man, you got a point there.
We wind up talking about it in some way, shape, or form.
Anthony, he works for the government now. That's
Does
not
he?
a spoiler in the movie by any means.
Okay.
You should already know
Bite
that.
your tongue in case I watch that thing.
Yeah.
He's not.
But think
gonna
about it. He
watch
went from being an
I
assassin.
remember it.
He was an
They
assassin.
won't tell me the
Anthony.
title.
It's called the
won't remember.
Thunderbolts.
Okay, there you go.
He's talking about the Thunderbolts.
He's talking about the
I'm
entire
talking about
Marvel
Captain America.
catalog.
Yeah, but if just
wanna do that.
Winter specifically Winter
If
Soldier.
you're talking about Thunderbolt, I want to watch freaking Thunderbolt, not American Gladiators.
It's not American Gladiator.
You do want to watch American Gladiators.
Don't watch that documentary.
I saw it. They did
I'm
another
telling
one?
him.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, don't watch the documentary. The American Gladiator
It's tough,
documentary.
man. The
I've seen
Netflix
it.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
where they don't get paid.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
they're working
depressing.
like 10 shows a day.
Oh
Yes.
my God!
Yeah.
It's so.
I was so excited to watch it.
like a shot to my childhood.
It was bad.
It's worse than the WWF used to be, where they were wrestling 350 days a year.
When they sat down, like at the opening scene, when Blazer sits down and he's crying and stuff, I'm like, oh no.
What happened?
No. Blazer.
They don't have any money.
Blazer.
No, they didn't get paid very much for one
They
thing.
signed a horrible contract.
They didn't get paid for the action figures. They really should have read it. They really.
They had
lunch boxes,
action figures.
They got nothing.
Zero. And the Elvis impersonator got all the money there.
I can tell you what. You probably would have been interviewing me from a prison. I'm just telling you. I'm not joking.
Well, Carey did that movie.
He did.
He did that movie. Played a doctor in jail.
It wouldn't have been. Nah, it'd have been a real penitentiary.
And they still have a better players union than the NFL.
I would have found him and beat the hell out of him. As much work as they did.
They didn't get paid. They can't lift their arms anymore.
Well, we'd have got my feet work. I walked over here.
I said that they still had a better players union than the NFL.
Yeah,
wow. Damn, Marshy. That's
brutal.
He's speaking.
Marshy, those are fight
We got too many people.
Carey, go ahead.
Yeah, we got too many people in the NFL.
Carey, go ahead.
That's why it's the worst.
By the way, the Water Boy says they don't have time to do a podcast. When can they watch a movie?
Well, in fairness, the football season's over.
Well, we don't do the podcast late at night either.
Thank you. Yeah, we have to come into the studio. Yeah.
Even though you guys could record it on the Zoom.
We could.
It's tough. It's hard to figure it out.
We'll try to do that.
That's how good the movies are.
On a weekend.
Yep. It's definitely going to happen.
When?
Yeah. No.
Saturday.
You got that fancy new podcast room, too?
Hey, you got to get here.
Yeah, I know, Carey. Now that you brought that up.
But I do get here.
I mean, the countdown's on.
Well, you know.
All right. It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN. We've got what we learned, 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments next on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the 101 ESPN Dobbs Tower and Auto Center's mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. From the Fast Lane, we want to wish all of the mothers a very happy Mother's Day on Sunday. Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mumsy.
There you go.
Love you, Mom.
Too bad your Leafs are going to get trucked tonight.
Whoa! Wow.
Hope she's listening and sends you a text message.
Oh, she will.
Oh, she calls you.
She'll say probably go fast.
Jeez.
Nah, I'm just kidding, Mumsy.
And happy Mother's Day to my wife, Kristen, of course. And happy Mother's Day to all you mothers that are listening right now.
Indeed.
All you mother fast
I
liners.
was waiting. Sorry.
You saw the wheels turning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost said it.
All right. What did everybody learn today? Marsh, what did you learn today?
I learned that I'm the victim of a future prank.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe I'll never
Maybe
know.
you just think you are and you're not.
That's right. Don't project. I don't even think that's projecting.
I don't think it is.
Not at all.
I don't think that's
Not at all.
Okay. All
You
right.
guys are gaslighting me right now.
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
All right.
buzzwords. I learned in the first segment, Jamie, I don't know if you know this, pitchers don't hit anymore, and it's been that way for a while.
You know what?
Anthony told us. Pitchers, they have this thing called the DH.
maybe you guys were confused.
It was really nice
They
of
have
him
this
to tell us
right,
that.
there's a thing called the DH.
Yeah.
It's been that way for a while now.
Hey,
Anthony,
you know what?
Pitchers don't hit anymore, excuse me. They still pitch.
Yeah, you guys seemed real confused in that segment, so I cleared some things up for you.
Clearly it helped.
Sorry
Thank you.
that you feel that way. Jamie, what'd you learn?
I learned that Carey Davis loves individualistic teammates. They're all about themselves. Yeah. It was surprising, shocking.
Told you.
Actually, was
12 years old.
bit of a letdown. You
Told
know,
my
they
coach.
say don't meet your heroes, right?
You've already met Carey, though.
I know, but now I'm like, is that the real Carey that I met, or is I don't know. It was odd.
Yeah.
What I learned was you can't make a mistake ever, or else Carey will still call you a San Jose Shark fan.
Oh wow.
Well, no, I'll only
is a
call you a
big
Shark
mistake,
fan if you call me a Ravens.
I had a slip up off air.
And you
You
laugh.
should have gave me
I
a.
slipped.
I slipped.
I slipped. Right into her lips. Yeah, I slipped.
What's that from?
That's a movie. He says, I slipped right into her lips.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I heard you.
Well,
And then you doubled down again and said it again.
He did.
Today.
Well, he got angry.
I got angry at you. I'm sure you appreciate that.
Eh.
That I got
How'd
angry.
the Sharks finish this year?
Probably dead last.
Had a good day.
How'd he do? No, dead last. Yeah, no, I did. Nice day. All right, Marsh, take over.
All right, from the 573, I thought Ranthony was great, but wow, CD losing it is the best. And that is in reference to Bill Belichick exploding on the sidelines.
He's going to explode.
Hey, man, he probably is. Carey, you're right. Probably more often than he ever did before.
Maybe, yeah. Coaching those young kids.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. You get those young kids around you.
Carey, what is your nickname for that? Scary Davis.
Scary Davis.
Scary Davis. Yeah.
Splashback Deuce earlier today was teaching us about hitting. Gave a nice little nugget in the snake pit. From 314, splashback isn't Oli, because we all thought maybe that was Oli Marmol texting in. Splashback Deuce is not Oli, but I can confirm he knows hitting. Just ask the Forest Park Softball League. The guy is a machine.
Wow, Anthony, that sounds like a challenge.
I believe you could probably put him out.
We should join a softball league.
We should?
We should.
I brought that up a couple of years ago where I thought it would be funny to have our show and the Rizzuto show be the softball team.
In the league?
Yeah.
Hey, play a lot of games, though.
Too many.
Yeah.
It could just be a tournament, a weekend tournament.
That's a good idea.
Because I think they'd be down for it.
I think so, too.
I think it'd be kind of fun.
As long as it didn't interrupt their
I'm the DH
bedtime.
and don't ask me to play first base.
What?
You'd play first.
And don't ask me to play first base.
What position would you play?
I actually like playing first base in softball.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. I would probably play third.
Third.
Or shortstops.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Marshy?
I hate the outfield.
Do you?
I don't know. I get bored out there sometimes. It's like, yeah.
I like playing first base, but
Too late.
I also like playing the outfield just because I think that there's more action out there and I don't want to stand around. Or I would play shortstop.
We need a pitcher.
Yeah.
That'd be
Not
tough.
a better pitcher.
Yeah.
No, for softball, just like the lob ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could get.
Well, just ask
Rafe-
what's his name?
Rafe could be the pitcher.
Moon.
No.
Or not Moon, Brooks.
Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks.
I bet he would join the team.
Yeah.
Although
probably
he
would.
gives good pitches, though. We need him to strike somebody out.
He only gives us good pitches for us.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
That's true.
That's how good he is.
That's true. We got a text from 573. Hey, guys, PSA, the game is on Apple TV tonight. Could you shout this out? We did not do that. And then we got a text from the 573 once again. Mad at Anthony for not saying my text. That was his chance to win his best fan back.
Anthony didn't even know.
I didn't know. I don't check the text line.
No, because when he does, we have problems.
We don't get a show done.
Right.
When Anthony checks the text
I actually did respond to a text the other day, Jamie, when you weren't
He
here.
walked past my computer.
I walked past your computer.
He does that to me, too. He'll stop, look, and then he...
Yeah. But I was very nice to that guy.
What did he say?
He said typical media member criticizing a professional athlete, but doesn't remember the last time he ran. And I responded, I said, you're absolutely right. You're the best. AS.
You did that one, huh? That always gets him, too.
Then I never checked again.
Guy's not even a jerk.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the 3 stars of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, I didn't want to step on the sponsor, but Waterboy goes, PK could run from first to home. Go ahead, sorry.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to paratrooper Heim Bloom.
Yes. This guy's no joke. He's packs.
2nd star of the day goes out to the koi fish.
Unnamed.
Well,
koi
yeah,
fish.
because they're sick.
That's really weird.
They're sick.
And
When you guys come over, I'm going to sit down with your kids. We're going to find a name for that
Fish.
1st star of the day goes out to the lineup game.
Yeah.
The lineup game stays.
Yeah, the people have spoken. Nice job with that poll, Marsh, as always. All right, don't forget, we got Pacers Cavs pregame at, right now. For Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.